watching Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the National Football League, NASCAR, and the new home of the BCS. This is America's #1 sports network.
Welcome to the Chevy MLB pregame show on Fox. Chevy, baseball's #1 fan in American Revolution.
That's the way it is. Come on. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh, yeah. That's just the way it is.
Rain, rain, go away. You know that song, Kev?
I do know that song.
54-minute rain delay last night and got some of the wet stuff again today. We'll get to that in a moment because let's pay attention to this.
Yeah, John Maine gets 4 runs on the board from Jose Valentin. Second baseman doing a great job, and Delgado would follow Genie with home run number 24.
The rain went away, and eventually so did the Houston Astros with a big 0 on the board. Yikes.
John Maine came over from the Orioles in that trade for Chris Spencer. Did a great job last
You want
night.
to see the best team in baseball?
Dimitri Young is back, Jeannie.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Detroit Tigers. I shocked you with that. I know
Yes,
it's
you
taken
did.
a long time to sink in.
Where's he been?
That that's the best team in baseball.
Some issues, that's right. And they need him, obviously. Tigers are on fire once again with that best record in baseball. Another Rodney right there. They've got a great bullpen, too. Not just the starting rotation. There's Dimitri getting it done.
What is going on with the Chicago White Sox? I'll tell you, Jim Thome's doing his part.
Power, definitely an MVP candidate. Gets the Sox on the board early. Home run number 32.
And that would be the All-Star Michael Young facing Mark Burley, who hasn't won since he's been named an All-Star. Mullet night, but we could be looking at fight weekend. Ozzy's put the call out.
I already got sustained class, and they killed me because Padilla is somebody. And I'm the one who was paying the price. It had nothing to do with that. You know me? Everybody was all over me because I was screaming in the dugout. Then I called one guy one thing because he was all over me. And I had to go to class. You know, it's everything going through me. If Padilla do something about it, believe me, we're going to do something about it. You can count that. I don't care. We spend for 100 years. If Padilla is somebody, we're going to do something about it, and we'll see what happens.
What would be worse, a 100-year suspension or forcing you to go with the mullet again?
The mullet.
It was mullet night on Friday night in Chicago.
Mullet.
Of course.
Or bell-bottom pants from back in the day.
I wasn't alive then. Ozzy Guillen, by the way, calling out Vicente Padilla, who hit A.J. Przinsky twice last time they met. He's getting the shout out, but his bigger headache may be the fact they've dropped 4.5 games since the All-Star break.
Right, and they're 6.5 back now behind the Detroit Tigers. People think they're going away. They're not going away. They got a great pitching staff. They do need a left-handed bat. They're right-handed dominant. And I mentioned Dimitri Young because he is a .290 lifetime hitter, and he hits well against right-handed pitching. He's had some personal issues. He's had some legal issues, but he's back. I think he gets the first chance.
All right, we're talking about pitching, good pitching. The Mets looking for some, yes?
They're looking for some pitching. There's no secret about that. Omar Minaya has talked about that. But with 20 teams really having a chance to go to the postseason as we speak, it's very difficult to get a quality starter. Therefore, a guy like Maine, Pelfrey's up from the minor leagues. He's doing a good job. They'd like to get Bannister back, but he tore his hamstring. I don't know if he'll be back.
All right, other side of town, Alex Rodriguez teaching Yankee fans how to take the good with the bad. Last night, he became the youngest player in the history of the game to reach 450 home runs, and then he committed his team-leading 18th error. Shea Hillenbrand, literally an outcast, designated for assignment. The former Toronto Blue Jay said he was treated like he murdered somebody. So how could he possibly find a place to just blend in? There is no bigger shadow than the one cast by Barry Bonds. Welcome to the San Francisco Giants, Mr. Hillenbrand. And here's Alex Rodriguez. We'll start with the good stuff, okay?
Yeah, here's the good.
Swing.
450 home runs now for A-Rod, the youngest player to get to that point.
And he's
Three-run home run
exceptionally
right there.
tan as well. We've noticed that this week. He was hanging out in Central Park.
And he lost the ball right there, a little foul ball that he couldn't see up in the lights.
And it's not the suntan doing that.
And then he dropped down. I mean, he's got to get on top of the ball. That's all I'll say about that technically at third base. Get on top of the ball and air it out.
How about the Blue Jays right there, Kevin?
A.J. Burnett is there in the second half. The Blue Jays expecting to finish strong with him back in the rotation.
You want to talk strong. How about David Ortiz? Got the Red Sox in Seattle. Here's your major league leading 33rd home run.
And leading MVP candidate for me in the American League. And no secret with Manny behind him, the best 3-4 combination in Major League Baseball.
Red Sox big good news, bad news week for Barry Bonds. His legal troubles appear delayed for the time being. Seems rumors of an impending indictment were just that, rumors. But this is fact. Bonds bruised his left knee last night, just hours after declaring that right knee was 100%. All right, when things aren't going well in the here and now, you shift your focus to the past, right? But even that isn't going well for the Cubs. They asked fans to select the greatest Cub team in history, Cub player that is. But they left Sammy Sosa off the ballot, so they're taking a lot of heat for that.
Don't take it personal. Fans, you got some great Cubs on this list. Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Fergie Jenkins, Ryan Sandberg. Guess what? They're all Hall of Famers. The fifth guy, Ron Santo, should be in the Hall of Fame. So, you know, you can't read that much into it. People want to, but forget about it.
All right, what are we reading to this? The Braves acquired their first accomplished closer since John Smoltz when they snagged Bob Whitman from Cleveland this week. We know he can save games, but can he save a season? Is it too late?
They're only 5.5 games out of the wild card, and that's what the Braves have to look at right now. And they needed to win, you know, last night, and let's see if they do it, Jeannie.
This would be at Philadelphia.
Brett Torria, home run number 10. They've got 7 guys in double figures the Braves do in home runs this year. Jimmy Rollins, well, he would counter right there.
Tying up the ball game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Now Philly out in front.
All-star second baseman Chase Utley up the middle, 2-run single.
Making all kinds of things happen, but in the end, it was Philadelphia getting the victory, 6-5. Time now for Ken Rosenthal and the inside pitch. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Jeannie.
All right, we talked about the Braves not going down without a fight. So who is next on the to-do list?
Well, Jeannie, they added closer Bob Wickman this week, but they're still looking for another reliever, preferably left-handed, but they would settle for a right-hander who could get left-handed hitters out. Joe Borowski from the Marlins and Scott Williamson from the Cubs both fit that description.
You got a flight to catch there, friend. All right, potential buyers have been fantasizing about picking apart the Phillies for over a month, but what's reality as the deadline approaches?
Jeannie, they've won 6 of their last 9, but they still could be among the most aggressive sellers, even if they don't trade Bobby Abreu or Pat Burrell. Outfielder David DeLucci is generating the most interest of any of their players. Right-hander Corey Lytle could be traded. Right-hander John Lieber, hey, he was successful with the Yankees in 2004, could make a good fit for the Red Sox, and the Phillies have relievers to spare, including left-hander Arthur Rhodes.
Toronto proving this week, if you do not fit, you are out. So who is next?
Could be Julio Lugo, Jeannie, the shortstop from the Devil Rays. The Blue Jays got a good young reliever last night from the Giants, Jeremy Accardo. That means they could trade a good young arm to the Devil Rays for Lugo. The Jays are going with career utility man John McDonald at shortstop. They're down a bat after losing Hillenbrand. Lugo makes sense.
Weeks back, you talked about an expiration date on Luis Gonzalez's time in Arizona. Is he ready to waive the no-trade clause now?
We're going to find out, I think, Jeannie. The Rangers are very interested in Gonzalez, and they feel that the returns of Adam Eaton and Cameron Lowe from injuries will bolster their pitching staff. Gonzalez has that no-trade clause, as you mentioned, but he was upset a few weeks back when the owner, Ken Kendrick, linked him to steroid rumors. He was upset again this week when the Diamondbacks benched him for Carlos Quentin.
Well, as you know, it's reached the point in our nation's capital where we're not sure who will still be around when the clubhouse doors open. But at least you have zeroed in on where Alfonso Soriano is going, yes?
Right, Jeannie. Barring a sudden move by the Angels, it looks like Soriano could end up in the AL Central. We know that the Tigers are in, and the White Sox have expressed some level of interest. Now, a week ago, the White Sox adamantly denied that they would trade top prospects for a 2-month rental, but they have put a feeler in for Soriano. The Twins also have been mentioned as a possible suitor, but I don't think they're seriously interested.
All right, as promised, more on A-Rod. They can't really boo him out of town, can they?
That remains to be seen, Jeannie. He did say last night, I would rather die on the field as a Yankee than go anywhere else. That is his version of, I have not yet begun to fight, but his contract does go through 2010. He does have the no-trade clause. His salary rises to $27 million next year, but if the Yankees don't win a World Series soon, expect this talk to increase.
All right, more important here on the way out, yellow or red golf shirt today?
We're going to go red, Jeannie.
All right, we're watching for the change. Thanks, Ken. Might I suggest a daily dose of the inside pitch on FoxSports.com? It's a big budget show. We got a wardrobe change. Maybe I should leave the Lou out. Still ahead. Hey, Detroit. Now aren't you glad you didn't run Mike Ilitch out of town? The Tigers owner brought the pieces together, but how far can they go? They're not the only ones wondering. About 20 clubs still think they have a chance, maybe just one move away. To trade or not to trade, that's the question. Kevin Kennedy has the answer, right?
That's right.
Help me, my friend.
In Focus on FSN. The untold story of how the 88 A's let greatness slip away. Next week on FSN.
QC Auto Service Center, serving the Quad City area for over 30 years.
Hi, this is Dan Elias for QC Auto Service Centers. The Midwest is notorious for long, hot summers. Is your vehicle up to the challenge?
Ensure your family's comfort. Drive into any of our 3 locations. Our techs will inspect your air conditioning system free. If your air conditioning does need service, QC Auto Service Centers will recharge your vehicle cooling system.
For all your vehicle needs, take it to the guys who know how. QC Auto Service Centers will keep you cool all summer long.
The Chevy Model Year End event is here. Now's the time to get the best selection on a great lineup of 06 Chevys. So make your move. They're going fast. Plus, right now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR on almost every 06 Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. See your select Chevy dealers. The Chevy Model Year End event is here. Now's the time to get the best selection on a great lineup of 06 Chevys. So make your move. They're going fast. Plus, right now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR on almost every 06 Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. See your select Chevy dealers.
Ahead of them
like everybody, I got problems. I got secrets that can hurt me.
is what's between them.
I'm sleeping with my partner, for one.
Tuesday's Fox Fall. Everything is negotiable.
I think maybe we shouldn't work together because the stakes are too high. There's just too many variables to take into account. I think... Let's get it right.
Okay.
Standoff. Series premiere coming this fall to Fox.
Welcome back to the Chevy MLB pregame show on Fox. Chevy, baseball's #1 fan, an American revolution. Boys have heard it once, they've heard it 1,000 times. Their manager doesn't take himself seriously. He takes his job seriously. Jimmy Leland's words to live by, but that's not the only thing he has taught the Tigers. They've learned how to win, and more important, how not to be losers. It is working. So Brandon Inge joked, the skipper can go now. Leland's response, thanks a lot. I've got my bags packed. Let's hope he has enough clothing to last him into October.
I think guys are more, a little bit hungrier. We're not giving up. You know, we get behind a couple of runs, we still think we have a chance in the game.
Well, that's been the mindset, finish whatever it happens to be, from a game to a series, but not looking too far ahead of ourselves. Focus on the task at hand and finish it, and then worry about the next task tomorrow.
And finish, they have. After averaging 100 losses the past 5 seasons, the Detroit Tigers are the best team in baseball. So what's the reason for the turnaround? Well, having a World Series winning manager take over the team might have something to do with it.
All I've heard about is how they had a bad clubhouse and it wasn't a fun place to be and everything, and I found it totally opposite. They're a great bunch of guys. They probably didn't know much about collectively as a team what it took to win.
He does a great job of knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it. If he needs to yell at us, great. If he needs to joke with us, great.
And he doesn't let you be satisfied when you take the first 2 games of a series. He wants you to go out and go for the jugular and, go after him and try and take that 3rd game, and I'll be satisfied with just winning the series by 1-2.
And then there's Pudge. After winning the 2003 World Series with Florida, Rodriguez signed with a Detroit team that was coming off the worst season in AL history. It was a move that gave the Tigers instant star power, but also raised some eyebrows.
A lot of people, tell me, why you do it? Why you do that? When you signed in 2004, I came over and I said, you know what? It's baseball, and, it's 1 year after the other. And I was saying, 2 years, we're going to be fine. And look, 2 years later, we in first place.
He's been around the game a while, and, he's been successful. So you always can go up and ask him about anything,
Seeing the same group of guys and the difference and the way they play the game right now, it shocks me because you know, I was there, and I can believe that it's just shameful one year to the other.
Now the question around Motown remains. How long can the Tigers keep this up? Well, after winning their series against the defending champion White Sox on Thursday, Tigers' lead in the AL Central is now a season-high 6.5 games.
So if you're playing right at the right time, then I think anybody who gets in the playoffs has a chance to win the World Series.
The team is there. I mean, the attitude is there. And if we keep doing what we're doing, we have a big shot.
The biggest difference with the Tigers this year versus a year ago, basically, I mean, it's the pitching. No secret about that. The ERA is a good 1.5 better than a year ago. They added Kenny Rogers to the top end of the rotation. They added a closer to the back end of the bullpen in Todd Jones. And all the guys in between, like Verlander, the young guys, and Zamaya throwing 101 as a setup guy, have been absolutely phenomenal. The lineup's still good, but it's the pitching's been the difference.
As we look at Alfonso Soriano and Mr. Rosenthal talked about, you're missing the biggest difference. Your presence at the ballpark. Have an all-star game turns your season around. I just thought I'd point that out. As we look at Soriano, Ozzie Guillen says, you know what, go ahead. God bless him. Go ahead. Take Mr. Soriano. I'd rather see him at the plate than, you know, one of those great arms.
Yeah, they don't want to see Zamaya coming out of the bullpen. They want to see him trade. The Tigers are not going to do that, believe me. You're not going to give up on young pitchers. There's no secret about that. You know, and talking about Soriano, I talked to Brian Cashman just a couple of days ago about what the Yankees are trying to do. And he said, well, we're trying to get an outfielder. There's no secret about that. But what's being offered right now is totally unacceptable. We're not going to mortgage the future. And he reflected a story back in 1996 when Derek Jeter was in spring training, struggling at shortstop. Tony Fernandez had broken his arm. He was supposed to start. They almost sent Jeter back down. They were looking for a starting shortstop in 96. They almost traded Mariano Rivera for Felix Fermin.
Oh,
True story.
Guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. 2 Hall of Famers. And Jeter almost went to AAA. And Jeter, I talked to also today, he said, yeah, that's a true story. I had a bad spring, but they didn't give up on those 2 guys. So don't panic right now, even though it's the trading deadline, July 31st.
That's the team perspective, but should Greg Maddux give up on the Cubs? It's his option, we're being told.
And a different story, too, because the Cubs obviously are not going to go to the playoffs this year. Greg Maddux is a veteran guy that's been around a long time, and the Dodgers have a need. I think there's a good matchup there in L.A. He's a Southwest guy. He lives in Las Vegas. He almost went to the D-backs a couple of years ago. I think he should think about it because the Dodgers would use a guy like him and really need a guy like him to try to win the West.
All right, we got to get you out to the ball games. That is the plan with a slight delay, under an hour, we're being told, because of rain in New York. We'll get you there when they resume. In the meantime, enjoy the Cubs and Nationals, looking for a little momentum at each other's expense. The Tigers, by the way, have found respect. They get an A for effort and for the day as Oakland tries to stop the best team in baseball. And we have to point this out. Congratulations to Mark Kubica. It's going into the Kansas City Royals Hall of Fame today.
Congratulations, Gooby.
Good job, Gooby. All right, it's Fox Saturday Baseball, your game of the week.
The Chevy Model Year End event is here. Now's the time to get the best selection on a great lineup of 06 Chevys. So make your move. They're going fast. Plus, right now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR on almost every 06 Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. See your select Chevy dealers.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. It's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. My milkshake is better than yours. My milkshake is better than yours. My milkshake.
Milk, shakes, hand scooped shakes and malts with M&Ms. New at Hardee's.
The new fall season starts first on Fox.
Free Schofield!
With the return of Prison Break, all new Monday, August 21st. this August.
I can't prove this, but I didn't kill her.
Acclaimed producer Jerry Bruckheimer.
As your lawyers, we want a trial.
Shows you the art and science of high-profile defense law.
We did some surveillance. Too smart, too analytical. This guy's bad for us.
Where it's justice.
Get rid of him.
At any price.
If you miss anything, it could cost our client everything.
I am not going to let them convict you for something you didn't do.
If you got the right lawyer with you, we've got the greatest legal system in the world. Justice, a new series coming Wednesdays this August to Fox.
Baseball in our nation's capital today. Fox Saturday Baseball presenting two teams that wish the playoffs were more realistic. Sadly, they are not for the Chicago Cubs and the Washington Nationals this year, but there's still a lot to talk about today. A lot to look forward to if you're a fan of baseball here in D.C. The new ownership group is now good to go. This is the grand reopening weekend for the Washington Nationals. And the Nats and the Cubs will play ball on your TV today. Along with Lou Piniella, I'm Josh Lewin. For those of you expecting to see the Astros and the Mets, rain delay there. Stand by. We'll try to get you baseball out at Shea if and when that gets going. We will get you there. But for now, Lou, let's talk about the Nationals and what they're doing to glisten things up around here.
They've done a great job with old RFK Stadium. Fresh paint, new concession stands with great food, even fan-friendly employees. Major League Baseball should be very happy with what Ted Lerner and his group have done in a short period of time.
The new food, very good. What about new players, though? The Washington Nationals, right, probably make a trade or two.
Well, Jim Bowden has been known to make a trade. He's the general manager here. He made a big deal with Cincinnati about a week ago. But I'll tell you what, any team that's looking for offense, well, the Nationals have that guy in Soriano. If I were a general manager and I was looking for offense, I would be calling Jim Bowden.
Call Jim Bowden. His number's in the book. And, yeah, Soriano probably is available for the right price. It's the Cubs and the Nationals today. Please stand by to see Frank Robinson manage against Dusty Baker. The Cubs bats, the Cubs gloves, and the Nationals can play some D as well. First pitch coming up next, right here on Fox.
Let me guess, more Albert Pujols stuff?
He's the best.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
What am I, chopped liver? I hit 714 home runs.
Come on, the Wizard of Oz stole 580 bases.
In my day, we didn't have bases. We had rocks.
What?
Hey, I played in 2,632 straight games.
Well, I ate 2,632 hot dogs. Can I get an amen from the bobbleheads?
DHL and MLB give you the chance to vote for your team's greatest. It's Hometown Heroes. Go to MLB.com now.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? Clean up those singles! Get some more meat down here now! Okay.
New BK Stacker, meat and cheese, stacked high, tough guy.
On August 25th, discover how an ordinary bartender tried to become the most unlikely rookie in NFL history. Invincible, inspired by a true story, rated PG.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going during the movies and hating to stand up, going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
For you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart, for your growing problem.
If you're looking to ramp up your ride, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has a brand new special order center just for you. It's your one-of-a-kind one-stop shop for everything from performance parts to cool custom accessories.
Baby Ruth is a great tasting candy bar. And when you have peanuts, nougat, and caramel, you don't need bells and whistles. All right, here's one whistle. But no bells. Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
For those of you awaiting, the Mets and the Astros were told 2 Eastern is when they're angling towards getting going. So for the next 35 minutes, hang out with us. Hang out with sweet Lou Piniella, for golly sakes. Josh Lewin, pleasure to be with Lou Piniella today here at RFK Stadium in our nation's capital. They are painting the town red. That is the mojo that they're throwing out there for this weekend. And a pretty decent crowd turning out to see the Nationals and the Cubs. Let's check the Cubs starting lineup. Brought to you by Taco Bell, and Dusty Baker running out Pierre and Perez at the top. Juan Pierre in center, Navy Perez at second. Aramis Ramirez had a pair of home runs yesterday, finding the upper deck down the left field line. John Mabry, kind of an unlikely cleanup hitter, but he is the first baseman batting fourth. Jacques Jones and Phil Nevin, Ronnie Cedeno and Henry Blanco. The pitcher is Sean Marshall, and he homered off of A. Hernandez last weekend. That was Orlando Hernandez. His half-brother is on the mound today for D.C. The Washington Nationals will have Lewin Hernandez out there. He pitched for Dusty Baker in San Francisco for basically 3.5 years, Lou, and did a pretty nice job out there. 45 and 45 as a San Francisco Giant. This year as a National, only 6 and 8.
Well, he struggled a little bit this year, but he's a professional pitcher. He gives you a lot of innings, and he's had success at the big league level. He's probably one of the pitchers that Jim Bowden is getting some interest in from other clubs that are looking for some pitching help.
There's that ExxonMobil pitcher profile brought to you by Exxon and Mobil retailers. And yeah, 700 more pitches than anybody else in baseball since 1999, Lou. So yeah, he's durable. What he isn't this year, though, is as successful as he's been in years past. The ERA up near 6. Last year it was under 4.
Well, the radar gun tells a story with Lewin also. He needs difference in speed.
That's the better way to, yeah.
When he throws the ball 87, 88 miles an hour, his curveball and his changeup are much more effective. When he's down in the low 80s with his fastball, they can sit on the off-speed pitches and they hit it much better.
The Cubs, let's face it, though, Lou, they have not been hitting the ball much at all this year. They are dead last in runs scored. They have actually out-hit their opposition this year by 60 hits, but somehow they are 21 games under 500.
Well, they've been out-homered in their own ballpark, and that shouldn't happen. But the loss of Derek Lee has meant a lot to the Chicago Cubs. He was their big guy right in the middle part of their lineup, and when he went down, it really hurt their offense.
Lee is out of the lineup again today, resting that wrist. Juan Pierre, though, is good to go, and so are we. He is all about the infield hit. He's got the most of those in the majors. I think the other thing he's got, Lou, is all kinds of experience against Lewin Hernandez. 72 at-bats against Lewin Hernandez, so there can't be that many secrets between these two players, you wouldn't think.
Well, Pierre has faced him a lot, and he's really been hot lately. 30 hits in his past 17 ball games. He started off the season slow in Chicago. Remember, he came over from the Marlins where the weather is warm in Miami. It's cold in Chicago, April and into May. And once the weather warmed up, this young man warmed up also.
Looking for that infield hit. He's famous for that, but he's out by 1.5 steps. The Nationals defensively, and their lineup brought to you by Gillette Fusion. There was a lot of consternation, Lou, about Soriano playing left field. He's actually done it very well. He leads the majors in outfield assists. Former Oriole Luis Matos in center. Former Cincinnati Red Austin Kearns in right.
Well, Soriano does lead the majors in assists. That's good or bad. And the way you look at that, they'll take chances running on you. And they probably have on Soriano. He's been an infielder his whole life, but he's done a very adequate job. Frank Robinson has been very pleased with the job that Soriano's done in left field.
Navy Perez, the second hitter. And he kind of chips it up in the air, foul ground. The rookie Zimmerman giving chase, circling, got it right before the tarp got him.
Yeah, nice play by Zimmerman.
Only 4 pitches needed to get the first couple outs for Lewin Hernandez today. Ramirez comes up next. And Lou, this guy was clocking him last night.
Last night he hit 2 gargantuous home runs here. One right down the left field line into the upper deck, and the other one in the left center field. Hit just as well, just a little further.
I thought you said this team doesn't hit home runs.
Well, Ramirez is leading their team in home runs with 19, but you look at the Cubs, they're 15th in the National League in home runs, and that's not good. Wrigley Field is a homer-friendly ballpark.
One to Ramirez. Boy, all but the epis right there. 63 miles an hour. 63 miles an hour there from Lewin.
And that's why you need a better fastball. It'll get the hitters off of his breaking pitches, and that's what Lewin likes to do, change speeds.
Yep, right back at 90 miles an hour. And that is what? Let's see, carry the 27 miles an hour different than the one right before.
Yeah, it's hard for a hitter to adjust to that difference in speed. When he's had problems this year talking to the Nationals, he's been at 83 or so. And hitters have been able to sit on his off-speed pitches. But he's pitched a lot of innings. And he's thrown a lot of pitches over the past 7 or 8 years. Then he had that knee problem where he had some surgery over the winter.
Well, there's that floater again on 2-2, and this time Ramirez is on it. Man, is he on it. He goes upper tank again, and the Cubs have the lead. That is 4 home runs in the last 3 games for Aramis Ramirez. And Lou, that reminds me a bit of a pitch that El Duque, Lewin's half-brother, tried to sneak by A-Rod a couple of years ago at Yankee Stadium, all with the lob. And A-Rod did the same thing, hit it about 480 feet.
Well, there's a breaking ball that was 62 miles an hour. The difference between this one, it just hung over the plate, and Ramirez waited on it and hit it.
Yes, he did. There's a strike to Mabry.
That breaking ball, when it hangs on the inner part of the plate, goes a long way when you wait on it properly.
There have been some first-inning foibles for Lewin Hernandez all year. Opponents hitting better than 400 against him in the first inning. And, Lou, that's half a dozen first-inning home runs he's allowed already this season.
Well, looking at batting practice here yesterday, in warm weather, the ball carries very well in this ballpark.
And we should mention it is warm today and exceedingly humid. Thunderstorms are forecast for later in the afternoon. Off-speed down low to Mabry. Mabry, perhaps, Lou, getting this cleanup assignment today because of what he's done against Hernandez in the past. 12 for 23 against him.
Maybe a little showcasing also by the Cubs.
Yeah, great point. Mabry, a guy who could be a good bat off the bench for a contender. Tim Cheetah, your home plate umpire, said that missed in. And Hernandez doesn't seem real pleased with how it's going right now. In again, and after getting 2 very quick outs, Ramirez a long home run, and Mabry the full count walk.
That looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Hernandez came inside with 2 fastballs. The first one wasn't close, but that one really was.
We mentioned 4 pitches to get the first 2 outs here today, but it's been a dozen pitches trying to get that out number 3. Here is Jacques Jones. And another one that misses in.
Jones is another Cub hitter that's been swinging the bat very well. He hit over 330 month of June, over 300 month of May. Probably getting adjusted a little bit to National League pitching. Came over from the Twins as a free agent this winter.
Well, the Twins, one of the stories we're tracking, kind of a big picture item on our menu today. They've won 8 in a row. And, you know, it's going to be tough to catch the Tigers, but they're only 3 games now behind Chicago. Other Chicago, the White Sox.
They have really played outstanding baseball since about mid-May. Got off to a slow start.
They've won 21 of their last 22 at home, Lou.
That's impressive.
Yeah, they've never done that before. Down the line, and it skids right over the first baseman, Nick Johnson. Pinballing to the right fielder, Kearns. He'll try it at second base, and airmails. Second and third, 2 out now. It's tough to sneak a ball by Nick Johnson. He is very good defensively, but that ball got on him in a hurry.
Yeah, Johnson's very good defensively, but Jones just drills it right over the bag into the corner.
Jones not a guy who's likely to be dealt, but here's another guy that we put on that list that should be fairly attractive to a contender. Phil Nevin, a one-time first-round pick in the nation.
Yeah, he's moved around a little bit here the past few years.
Started this year with the Texas Rangers and was dealt straight up for Jerry Hairston Jr.
When Nevin's swinging the bat well, he usually goes to the right center field.
And it's not like 1995 was the crest of the wave for this guy. I mean, just in 2001, Lou, he had a 41 home run season. Gonna bang this one into center field, dropping for a base hit. 1 run is in. Jones is coming home. Here's the throw. There's the tag. They got him. Two runs are in, but Robert Fick sealed off entry to home plate. Dusty Baker's going to come out and take up the argument for Jacques Jones.
Great throw here by Matos. Fick, good blocking of the plate.
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life? How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
Whoa. These spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supremes are spicy.
Spicy and grilled, so they're good to go.
Spicy and good to go. Have a sip of my soda. Or so tasty, I'm good to go get another one.
Or good to go get a job.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled so it's good to go. For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
Before my wipers streak or my belt start to squeak, I know I'm gonna catch it on time.
AutoZone has the people, parts, and advice it takes to stop trouble before it starts.
Nobody knows your car like you do. Nobody knows what it needs like we do. AutoZone.
The all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe. With 320 horsepower and an EPA estimated 22 highway miles per gallon. Get there like never before. Tahoe, an American revolution.
Fox Saturday Baseball sponsored by your Exxon and Mobil retailers. We're drivers too. By the new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme at Taco Bell. It's good to go. By new Gillette Fusion, the best shave ever in manual and battery powered. And by Chevy, baseball's #1 fan, Chevy, an American revolution. 2 in for the Cubs in the top of the first with a play at the plate. Denied the Cubs a 3rd run against Lewin Hernandez.
Yeah, great throw by Matos, and Fick blocks the plate. Picture perfect.
Jones insisting he got the leg in there, going 5-hole on Robert Fick. But Hernandez is out of the inning thanks to some help from Luis Matos. And now Alfonso Soriano will step in and face Sean Marshall. Big cut for Soriano. He's down to strike, and here's some numbers on Sean Marshall. A pleasant surprise, some would suggest, for the Chicago Cubs. He was not supposed to be here this year, Lou, making his 19th start of the season.
Yeah, they've had to rush quite a few of their young pitchers this year because of injuries. And control has been a little bit of a problem for this young man. 46 walks in 99 innings. Way too many walks for a pitcher that's not really overpowering. And then that changeup. It's his best pitch. He's got confidence in it, and he'll use it to both lefties and righty hitters.
That ExxonMobil pitcher profile brought to you by Exxon and Mobil retailers. And the thing is, you know, Soriano, normally a guy in the past, Lou, that would get up there and help out a kid like Marshall swinging at anything. He's been a lot more patient this year.
He's been more patient. His on-base percentage is much higher. He's gotten more walks. He's never been a 40-40 guy, but he's well on his way to doing that this year.
Yeah, a few years ago, he petered out at home run number 39. Nailed the 40 on the stolen bases. 30 home runs, 25 steals right now. And if he gets to 40-40, Lou, I guess the question is, which team's uniform will he be wearing when he gets that done?
Well, there are quite a few teams that are looking for a hitter of his caliber.
He spent some time with Jim Bowden yesterday. Did you get any sense about who's most serious?
Well, the teams that are front runners for him, you look at the White Sox, you look at the Tigers, you look at the Yankees, you look at the Angels. They've all been looking for hitting. I'll tell you, he balked initially about going to left field, but he likes it now.
The big lefty brings a 3-2, and we'll dial it up again. An 8-pitch at bat for Soriano to get things going. And again, if you're a Yankee fan watching this one, you're thinking, man, I don't recall a lot of 8-pitch at bats when Soriano was wearing pinstripes.
Well, he's a lot more experienced now. He's always been a really good offensive player. At times a little over-aggressive at home plate.
Raking that one into left field. Nevin was set to go into the corner and get it. The ball never did get to the corner. It's a double for Soriano.
Well, Soriano saw all of Marshall's pitches and finally got a nice fastball to hit and drilled it into the left field corner.
Nevin turned and went into the corner and then was surprised when the ball never got there. He had to turn back around and play it off that railing. As for the rest of the Nationals lineup, it is presented to you by Taco Bell. Lopez and Zimmerman, Nick Johnson and Austin Kearns, Matos and Anderson, Robert Fick, and of course the pitcher, Levon Hernandez. We'll talk a lot about Ryan Zimmerman throughout the day today, but first we should probably mention what Lopez means long-term to this Nationals team. I mean, this is a guy, Lou, that the last couple of years has more home runs than any shortstop in the National League.
Good offensive player. Has his lapses at shortstop, but a young man that the Nationals are willing to grow with.
Jim Bowden ringing up his old ball club in Cincy, pulling off the trade that really could help this team more quickly construct their foundation. Lopez showing bunt. I think the goal all along has been to build a team that could contend, Lou, in 2008 or 2009. If it happens sooner, terrific. But the Nationals are looking to make trades to put them in position for when that new ballpark opens up in 2008. And I would say Lopez and Austin Kearns should help them a great deal.
Two good young players to go along with Zimmerman at third base, Snyder behind the plate, and Johnson at first base. They've got a good nucleus of young players, all 27-year-old and younger.
Yeah, before the deal, the only position players who seem to be a definite part of the future, you mentioned Johnson, Schneider, Zimmerman. Now they have 5 cornerstone players instead of 3. There's that slow breaking ball that Lewin Hernandez was trying to feature in the top of the first.
And Marshall better watch Soriano closely at second base. He loves to steal third.
His season came to an end a couple of years ago trying to steal third. Injured himself in Oakland. But he has stayed aggressive in that pursuit. You're right. Lopez making contact there. You know, last time Marshall was on the mound, though, he was part of an 11-run inning that the Mets were hanging on this Chicago team. He did not really show the ability to put away any of these Nationals hitters yet today.
Well, he's not a strikeout pitcher. There he tried to get Lopez on a changeup, which is his best pitch. He just got it up in the zone.
13 pitches already. He has not yet gotten an out. Let's take a look at the Cubs defensive lineup while we have a chance, Lou. It's brought to you by Gillette Fusion. Henry Blanco has not been catching that long. Mike Scioscia converted him many years ago. Well, not many. I would say about 8 years ago.
That is many.
A lot of guys grow up catching and working on it. 8 years and you get this good at it. That's not a bad story. Mike Scioscia and Frank Robinson have a fairly recent history from a series that was played last year. Frank Robinson, of course, an interesting fit here in the nation's capital, Lou. Still as old school as they come. But he says, hey, I own a DVD player now. I'm not old school. But then he admits that he uses a DVD player to watch Humphrey Bogart movies. So
probably to check his golf swing out a little bit. He was out here working hard with these National hitters on their hitting strokes yesterday. I got quite a kick out of Frank instructing a few of these hitters on having a little better plate selection, sitting on pitches. This guy was a heck of a hitter, heck of a ball player.
50 years ago is when he had his Rookie of the Year season in Cincinnati. Think of the last 2 managers the Washington franchise has had. Ted Williams and Frank Robinson.
2 Hall of Famers, 2 great players, 2 outstanding ambassadors for baseball.
More than 1,100 home runs between them. Ted Williams, before the second incarnation of the Senators, was moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Then Robinson came from Montreal when the Expos were relocated here. In play, base hit. First and third and nobody out. It was an 8 or 9 pitch at bat to Soriano, an 8 pitch at bat with Lopez. And again, Lou, the problem for Marshall seems to be he just doesn't have that finishing pitch to put these guys away.
Well, there's a good piece of hitting by Lopez. Just stays right inside and hits that ball to right field behind the runner. Soriano didn't score because he had to wait for that ball to clear the infield. But you're right. Both National hitters have seen 9, 10 pitches. And here's a pretty good looking young hitter.
Boy, no kidding.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Leading all major league rookies in hits and in runs batted in.
And strong. And likes to hit with men in scoring position. I talked to Frank about that yesterday, and all he does is smile when you mention his name.
Some guys do have a nose for that, don't they? The RBI opportunity presents itself, and they go up there with that very positive attitude. Lopez on the move to hit and run. Zimmerman had to extend the strike zone and fouled it away. Out of UVA, University of Virginia, lots to like about Ryan Zimmerman.
He didn't spend much time in the minors. He should have taken that pitch there, though, and let Lopez steal the base. Had a good jump. Ball was way out of the strike zone. I don't think that was a hit and run. I think the hitter just reacted to the base runner running.
Now a strike on the inside. Now let's go back to that preceding pitch here, Lou, and see what we can pick up.
Well, as you can see here, base runner gets a good jump, and that ball's out of the zone. As a hitter, a right-hand hitter.
Comebacker. Soriano now breaking for the plate. They get an out there. They're coming home. They get an out there on a very unconventional double play.
Really good baseball by the Cubs, specifically Sean Marshall, the pitcher.
There's a phrase that hasn't been uttered a lot this year. Really good baseball by the Cubs. But you're right. Soriano broke, not on contact. He waited till Marshall spun around. Let's show it to you.
But one hopper right back at the pitcher. He holds the runner. Great play by Perez. Coming home with the ball, and I think it shocked Soriano that the ball came to the plate.
Yeah.
Didn't slide.
The old 1-4-2 double play.
Rare.
Extremely. And headache inducing for Frank Robinson, to be sure. Nick Johnson takes down too low.
Yeah, you got your meat of the lineup coming up. Runners on first and third, no outs. You're looking for a big inning, and all of a sudden you're sitting with your fourth hitter, 2 outs and a man on first.
Hey, you got a rookie pitcher on the ropes. We mentioned last time he was on the mound, he was part of an 11-run inning. I'm sure he's starting to think, here we go again. But then you get a comebacker. You get a second baseman that has the presence of mind to fire home, and fire home very well.
Yeah, really good play. Nice throw. If Soriano had slid, he might have gotten in there.
Is there anything the on-deck hitter can do as fast as that's going for him to say get down?
He should be saying get down, and I didn't see that either, Josh.
The play unfolded so quickly, though. Boy, neither of these pitchers are getting the breaking ball over at all here in the first inning.
Well, and the fans were into the ball game. All of a sudden, they quieted down.
Yeah, the last time the Nationals were swinging the bat, they were coming up with that 3-run 8th inning rally last night, and this place went bananas.
Yeah, they've got another nice crowd here this afternoon.
The grand reopening weekend, they're calling it. Fresh coat of paint on the place. They have hung some new banners. And as they've said, there's only so much you can do with a 45-year-old facility, but they're at least going to give it a shot here.
I met a few of the owners last night. Very nice people. Committed.
26th pitch of the inning. Vacuumed up by Cedeno, and the Nationals, after first and third and nobody out, unable to score. 2-0 our score here on 5.
Should I stay or should I go now?
If you haven't discovered the miracle of fusion, it's time you did. Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, plus the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual and battery powered. Gillette guarantees it or your money back. Gillette Fusion.
Acid. Joe Buck. How you doing? Oh, what a voice.
It's like
pure baseball.
Velvet mixed with peanut butter.
Yeah.
Would it be all right if I touched your throat while you said something?
Okay.
Okay. If you could just say swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
That is awesome. You guys gotta try it.
Go ahead. Okay. Swing and a miss.
Oh yeah.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
No.
Swing and a miss.
Guys, I'm gonna take the stairs.
I'm gonna take the stairs.
Guys, I'm gonna take the stairs.
Pillaging was great this time of year, but with so many people switching to Capital One, we've taken jobs as camp counselors. burnt a village to the ground. Doo-dah, doo-dah. We're not exactly role models.
For low rates and great rewards, switch to Capital One.
What's in your wallet? Put your backs into it.
Baby Ruth is the candy bar for baseball guys. Guys who like peanuts, nougat, and caramel every bit as much as a grand slam. And if you're a woman who likes that stuff, want to go to a ball game? Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
Sometimes kids just don't see it. Steroids can ruin bones, tendons, organs, and dreams. Talk to your kids about the dangers of steroids. Visit drugfree.org.
Still raining in New York. The Mets and the Astros are hoping to be playing ball in about 20 or 25 minutes. For those of you expecting to get that game, we will get you to Shea when the game is underway. Right here, second inning. The team that is 17.5 behind the New York Mets, the Washington Nationals, trailing Chicago 2-0. Josh Lewin along with Lou Piniella. A Chicago Cubs team that is 17 back in the NL Central. They're 21 games under 500.
Yeah, their season unraveled early this year.
You're talking about one win combined and essentially one quality start combined between Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor.
And that's where the unraveling started.
Yep.
And then they lose Derek Lee, but that wrist injury. And not only are they pitching young people, struggling in the pitching department with the inconsistency, but now their offense really suffers, and they went into a nosedive.
As a great Rosanna Dana used to say, it's always something. If it's not one thing, it's another. Last weekend, the Cubs once again defied all odds. They watched the Mets hit not one, but 2 grand slams in 1 inning against them. Here is Henry Blanco. 2 grand slams in 1 inning statistically happens once every 241,000 innings. It happened to the Cubs on national television. And then Mark Pryor last night. It did not go well.
He really struggled with his command last night. He just came off the DL. He was behind the count to a lot of hitters. He was all over the place with the baseball. Dusty had no choice but to get him very early in the ball game.
I want to run something by you too, Lou. There's kind of a knee-jerk reaction to all things under the heading of tragic comic regarding these Cubs. And the reaction always seems to be, well, it's the Cubs. It's the Billy Goat jinx. It's somewhere in the stars. How much of that becomes ingrained in the player's psychology? Isn't it more about bad ball playing than it is bad karma?
I agree with you totally. Chicago's a wonderful city to play baseball in. The Cubs are a storied franchise. Wrigley Field, boy, your juices flow when you go into that stadium.
There's another fly ball to right, this time from Blanco. I think the excellent baseball writer Paul Sullivan had a terrific point in a column last week that essentially at some point you have to not blame Steve Bartman, not blame the Gatorade spilling on Leon Durham's glove in the '84 playoffs. You don't blame the black cat that walked on the field at Shea in '69. At some point you have to say, as a collective, it wasn't Bartman. It was a booting of a double play ball in that inning, and Pryor losing his stuff at a critical point of the season. And the players taking responsibility. There is a foul ball from Sean Marshall. Now, this year has been all about bad luck. That's true. But there's also the opportunities out there to, for example, get a big hit with a runner in scoring position. Just hasn't happened. Matter of fact, Lou, the Cubs, just to run one more stat out there at you, 188 is their batting average with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That is by far the worst in baseball.
Well, that's a statistic that really is not going to win baseball games for you.
Another foul by Marshall. And as it turns out, I mean, changing the players may actually be a better idea than trying to change their luck with any kind of staged PR events, like bringing a Billy Goat on the Leno show or blowing up the Bartman ball.
We're changing a manager.
Hey, do you have any thoughts on that by any chance?
Well, Dusty's an excellent manager.
You're not being
he's had nothing but success in his major league career.
You figured something had to give. Either Dusty's track record as a winning manager would take a hit, or the Cubs' track record of losing would turn around.
Yeah, sometimes things happen on the field that are out of the manager's control, and when you lose the top of your rotation and you lose your fourth hitter, it makes things rough in a very competitive division.
The pitcher hanging in there, Marshall. But just to put it out there, Lou, you've not been in conversations about...
oh, no.
No.
No, anything you hear about me is just rumor. Nothing more, nothing less.
Good. I don't want to go...
I'm happy sitting right here with you.
Yeah, I don't want to go looking for a new partner, so...
explaining or trying to explain what happens on the field.
Marshall down on strikes. Levon Hernandez out of the inning. It stays 2-0.
No, get this out of here. This is the Stackers Union, kid. We stack meat and cheese. Meat and cheese. No veggies. Wake up, pretty boy. Oh, early bun delivery. Hey, Toots! Feisty. I like that.
New BK Stacker. Bacon and cheese on flame broiled beef. Stack it high, tough guy.
Pickup and SUV. Gasoline and E85 ethanol. Haul and tow. The all-new 2007 Chevy Avalanche. The most flexible vehicle out there.
These days, it's out with the old, in with the new. True, it didn't have a water dispenser or an ice maker. What it does have is plenty of room for what's really important. Here's to the beer fridge.
What would it take to keep your personal financial information safe? A ferocious guard dog? A great white shark? A man-eating tiger? Any of them will do thanks to Bank of America's Site Key. Just choose a picture and title. We'll show them to you when you sign on, so you know you're securely on our site, not some look-alike. So if you'll feel safer, protected by a fearsome grizzly bear, we've got you covered. Open a checking account and experience higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
Fox Saturday Baseball sponsored by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer. This is RFK Stadium. This is a chance for the Washington Nationals to put another stamp on what they've got here. The new ownership group officially signing the papers yesterday, Lou. The banks obviously don't open until Monday, so the money won't change hands until then, but the reports are that every signature that needed to be on every sheet of paper, that all got done yesterday, and in fact got done during that 3-run game-winning 8th-inning rally yesterday.
Yeah, they had all the owners here collectively. And not only did they get themselves a franchise, they saw a very exciting 8th inning where the Nationals came back and won a ball game.
Austin Kern is one of the newest acquisitions by these Washington Nationals, and if you're familiar with baseball history, you know that for years it was not a good thing, baseball in D.C. A lot of last place finishes, and here they are taking on the Chicago Cubs, who are familiar with that too. Destiny's doormat, the Chicago Cubs. Austin Kearns will slug one in the air. That ball takes off. That ball really taken off. It's gone. first home run as a National for Austin Kearns. Jim Bowden was there in Cincinnati to draft him several years ago. Traded for him to get him here to D.C.
Well, that's what the National traded for. Some power from Kearns. And the young man from Lexington, Kentucky, got a hold of one. We talked about the ball carrying here in warm weather, and that one sure did.
Yeah, Phil Nevin's a believer. He was just kind of drifting on that ball at first and then looked up and was very surprised to see it go.
Boy, there's nothing that pleases a general manager more. See players that you traded for come in and do well.
You could tell the new owners, hey, you like that home run?
Let me make a few more. I'll get you some other guys. Yeah. Makes the hitting coach feel pretty good also. He's sitting there enjoying the ball game.
Sure. Matos are grounded to short. One down with the Nationals now on the board. Let's get you back to Jeannie Zelasco standing by with a game break.
Hey, Josh, best team in baseball. Taking it to the A's. Bases loaded for Detroit's Carlos Guillen. He sends everybody home with a bases clearing double just inside that left field line. Bases loaded for a Mark Ellis as well. What would he do? How about a sac fly? Look at Frank Thomas tearing up the turf. He's home. 5-2 Tigers at that point. Top two.
Thank you, Jeannie. And boy, the Tigers continue to assert themselves as the story in baseball this year. 3 years removed from being 43 and 119. They could lose every game the rest of the way and be 21 games better than they were 3 years ago.
What a year they've had. You've seen them play too, Josh. I haven't.
Man. They're for real. Grounder to second. Marlon Anderson is going to reach. That's a one-time Gold Glover out there, Nathy Perez. That was not the Gold Glove.
Well, this is just a routine ground ball. Second baseman takes his eye off the ball. Just a routine error.
Let's Robert Fick come up there and swing the bat. Cub fans may remember Robert Fick when he was an Atlanta Brave. A pickoff here. Can they get him? Sure thing. Now the error to allow Marlon Anderson to reach. Then a quick pickoff. Now we can pretend it never happened.
Well, Marlon tried to read Marshall's move. He thought that the pitcher balked. Watch him as he gets tagged out here. He'll look at the umpire, point to him, and say the guy balked. Just a good move by Marshall.
And the third man erased on the bases in this game already today. Big rip by Fick. I was going to say, Lou, with Fick, when he played with the Braves, he had that karate chop of Eric Karros in the Cubs-Braves division series. Left kind of a nasty taste in people's mouths regarding Robert Fick. I think so did the Red Fox impersonation after that game, filling the clubhouse with expletives and explaining his actions. And that was kind of the last act for Robert as an Atlanta Brave.
He came over to Tampa Bay and played there for a while.
He gets after it, though, doesn't he?
He plays. He's actually done a respectable job behind the plate as a second catcher for this team.
Which is interesting because his original team, the Tigers, all but yeah, I mean, they all but locked his catcher's gear away. They said, you're not a catcher anymore.
He actually calls a pretty good game. His hands are a little iffy. And his throwing, well, you can run on him. But he does call a good ball game.
Right here, he clips one foul into the glove of Henry Blanco. That'll end the inning. We're back after these words from your local Fox station.
Has Fox Sports found a host yet?
Who is the host?
Hey, who's the host?
Who's the host?
Who's the host?
Who needs a host?
Find out when Fox NFL Sunday returns.
The Chevy Model Year End event is here. Now's the time to get the best selection on a great lineup of 06 Chevys. So make your move. They're going fast. Plus, right now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR on almost every 06 Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. See your select Chevy dealers.
Menards is the place where you'll always save big money. Cedar boards are great inside and out and are naturally decay resistant. Each board is rough sawn on one face and smooth on the other. Right now, all cedar boards are on sale. Give your home the look that lasts with Dutch Boy paint. Exterior DuraWeather Flat is on sale for $17.49 a gallon. Satin and semi-gloss are also on sale. Service, quality, selection. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is it. It's Ford Model Year Clearance. It's the final days to drive on us with 0% financing. Plus, we pay for your gas until 2007. It's your last chance for 0%. Plus, we pay for your gas until 2007. That's right. You get both. And a no-charge 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. You don't want to miss the best deal of the year. It's the final days. You only have until July 31st to drive on us during Ford Model Year Clearance.
Love and wanna see possibilities.
Have you been bitten by the dog days of summer?
So hot, so sticky.
Burning, itching, swelling.
It's officially rash season.
4 out of 5 doctors agree.
Doctors, look, I know how I feel.
Fox 18's Laugh Out Loud lineup is the cure for what ails you.
Well, Kitty, who are you going to believe? Some quack doctor or the man who stood by you while you delivered our children?
Oh, you did not? You went out for a sub.
Get your daily 2-hour treatment every weekday starting at 5 on Fox 18.
Feeling better already.
Laugh Out Loud with Seinfeld. Weeknights at 10:05 on Fox 18.
RFK Stadium, and the lights are on here. It is clouding up. We are expecting some thunderstorms a little later. The storms that were in New York, by the way, have moved out. We'll get you to the Astros and Mets, many of you, in just a while. Getting very close to first pitch there with Joe Buck and Tim McCarver standing by. 2-1 our score here. Austin Kearns with a home run for the Washington Nationals. Aramis Ramirez has one for the Cubs. Juan Pierre trying to bunt.
Yeah, Pierre will try a bunt about once a game. Zimmerman in on the grass.
And Fick was ready to pounce too. We were just talking about Robert Fick, Lou, and how he's embraced that opportunity to catch again.
Well, he's getting a chance to get in the lineup. He likes to swing the bat.
And as you said, and Frank Robinson echoed it, he does. He calls a good game. You know, his brother Chuck, now a scout for the Cardinals. You ever see the movie Naked Gun? With Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Leslie Nielsen was the umpire.
No, I didn't see it.
I got to get you the DVD. You'd like that. Chuck Fick, Robert's brother, was the umpire in that movie. Trying to keep a straight face in front of Leslie Nielsen, or not the umpire. He was the catcher. He was the guy that was patted down by Leslie Nielsen. That's Robert Fick's big bro. I can't believe you never saw that movie.
Never saw it. Now Fick's a little bit of an actor himself now.
Yes.
I'm talking about Robert.
That's the truth. He growing up in L.A., he was an extra in things like Cheers, Webster. And he was saying before the game, Lou, but I'm sure he's told you this one too. He was in a soft drink commercial at age 13. He made $15 grand, or in other words, more than he did his entire first year of professional baseball, for drinking a sports drink. Now the catching thing's working out okay though too.
I remember when I had him in Tampa Bay and he wasn't in the lineup, he'd come into my office and poke his head and say, "You're not trying to win today, Skip. You don't have me in the lineup."
0-2 to Nafi Perez, slowly towards second base. A little shovel pass here from Marlon Anderson. 2 quick outs. Livan Hernandez able to get those. Now for those of you standing by for Astros and Mets, no more Leslie Nielsen stories from here. We go to Joe and Tim. They've got the Mets and Houston. For everybody else, more Lieutenant Frank Drebin stories. Or maybe we'll get you to Aramis Ramirez and a home run that he crushed in the first inning. That's number 20 for him now, Lou.
Oh, he's a big, strong guy.
Fouling this one to make it a 1-1 count.
Tell you, you get Derek Lee in that fourth hole, sound and healthy. Ramirez, Jones, you start putting together some good pieces for an offense. Here in the leadoff spot.
There's a strike to Ramirez. And quickly, Lou, our Capital One trivia question today. Get that in for you. The 4 active pitchers with over more than 150 career base hits.
Well, obviously, they've been in the National League.
Yes, I would say that would be a prerequisite. One of them may or may not be, I don't know, on the mound currently.
He swings the bat a little bit.
Yes, he does.
Well, Hernandez has been consistently in the high 80s.
That one's down the right field line. That one is foul. And a nice play over there, Mr. Striped Shirt guy.
Now, where's that? He's a Cub guy. Nice play.
Neifi Perez booted a simple ground ball today, Lou, but this guy, no issues.
It amazes me that fans bring their gloves to the ballpark, sitting there with his young daughter. Makes a heck of a play.
Zimmerman at the line, lassos and fires. Safe the call. Ramirez an infield hit. Boy, a long home run and an infield single today for Ramirez.
Well, Ramirez hustles down the line here on this high hopper. Zimmerman makes a nice play. Just a long, long throw. It pulls Johnson off the bag.
Maybe that extra millisecond setting his feet right there. The difference in safe or out. Ooh, pretty close. Real close.
Maybe Ted Barrett missed that one.
He ever get you? Ted Barrett ever throw you out?
I think he has.
Oh, see, now you're even.
He's a good umpire. He probably felt that Johnson was pulled off the bag, but Nick Johnson did a nice job of keeping his foot on.
John Mabry, the batter, and he has worked the count to 2-0. Skies that one to center field. Hovering for a while, but Matos is there. And the Cubs unable to add to the lead. 2-1, bottom of the third, coming up.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
I'm into doing fun stuff like movies, music, podcasts, stuff like that.
I also do fun stuff like timesheets and spreadsheets and pie charts.
Okay, no, by fun, I mean more in terms of, for example, it'd be kind of hard to capture a family vacation, say, with a pie chart, you know.
Not true.
Oh?
For example, this light gray area could represent hangout time, whereas this dark gray area could represent just kicking it.
Yeah, no, I feel like I was there.
better health. Sometimes it's in the genes, but as often as not, it's connected to the quality of the information you have at hand. And that's what makes WebMD America's most trusted health information source. It's a place where people find information they could never get their hands on before, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can make the connection between better information and better health. WebMD.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices to keep your stomach and your wallet full. Think outside the bun.
The wedding ring. The newlyweds.
You know, I've never been a jewelry guy, but wearing this just makes me feel like I'm carrying around a little piece of you every day.
The wedding ring. The not-so-newlyweds.
Emmy winner Brad Garrett in Till Death, a new comedy coming Thursdays. Fox.
Underway, bottom three. Strike one taken by Lewin Hernandez, who is not a bad hitter at all, Lou. You were talking about this earlier. He's a career .240 hitter. He's got 8 home runs. And he chips this one into the corner as if on cue. He's got himself a leadoff double. That's the tying man for Washington here in the bottom of inning 3.
Well, he's hit .270 this year as a pitcher. And here he gets a fastball out over the plate, doesn't try to pull it, and hits it right down that right field line. Well, Frank Robinson's got himself a nice little pinch hitter sitting on the bench. Now, you might have to pinch run for him once he gets on.
Our Capital One trivia question, the 4 active pitchers with more than 150 career hits. Lewin Hernandez is one of them. Greg Maddux is in the house. He's got the lead, 252. And here's my question for you, Lou. Does Greg Maddux maybe move on somewhere else before the trade deadline?
Well, again, you're talking about an experienced pitcher that's had a great career, got off to a good start this year, struggled. He's been pitching good baseball. I would think that the Cubs are going to get some calls on Mr. Maddux, and it's just a question whether they want to do anything with him or not. But I certainly would be looking for a Greg Maddux in my rotation if I were a team that's trying to get into the playoffs.
Maddux has to agree to wherever it is that he would be traded to. Soriano at the plate here doesn't have that kind of yank. He's got to go. And maybe will be going before that July 31st trade deadline. You read the list of the teams earlier, Lou, that have shown the most interest and have the best barterable goods, I guess.
Yeah, it's a shame at this time of the year. They're sellers and they're buyers, and the 2 teams out here on the field are on that selling category.
Breaking ball is hammered into left center field. Soriano, who's already doubled once. He has reached second. He's going for third. Soriano head first. He has tripled in a run. You may see it cycle today, Mr. Piniella. He's got what for him are the toughest 2 out of the way, the double and the triple.
And here's a ball that he just hammers in the left center field, and he's loping around first base. And all of a sudden he picks up the outfielder, and he really picks it up and gets into third with a sliding triple. But as you can see, leaving the box here, he's just loping.
Davey lopes, waving him, going, go, go.
Now all of a sudden he says, wait a minute, I've got 3. And he really picked it up. Just an athlete. Don Zimmer had him over in New York when he was Joe Torre's bench coach with the Yankees. And he always talked about what an offensive machine Soriano was and how right he is. You got the pleasure of watching him with the Texas Rangers.
And, you know, and the same thing, he would get out of that box. He's got that kind of gangly body, you know, those long limbs. And sometimes it takes them a while to get going out of the batter's box. You're thinking to yourself, are you going to turn it on at some point here? And then bang, he's at third base. He leads Major League Baseball now, Lou, in total bases. Obviously, the 30 home runs help. He's got a double and a triple in this game already. Now he's at third with nobody out. Got to stay there with one out. Lopez, the first out of the inning. Let's get you to Jeannie Zelasco standing by with another game break.
Well, if you like pitching, our apologies. This A's-Tiger showdown is not for you. In Detroit, the A's back in this one thanks to Mark Kotsay. 2 on, 2 out. How about a 3-run home run? 5 apiece, top 3.
Not supposed to be a home run yard. But then again, neither is this place, Lou, and they've been shooting out of here. The Oakland A's a half a game up in the AL West. The remarkable Tigers came in today 6.5 up on Chicago in the Central.
There's a great race going on in the American League West. I'm looking forward to see which club goes out and does something to separate them from the pack.
Livan Hernandez getting cooled off in there. 1-0 pitch to Zimmerman. Down and in. Yeah, especially a team like the Angels, Lou. Talking about the AL West, they've already spent a lot of money and they've got more in their pockets if they want to use it. Soriano would be a heck of a fit. Put him out there with Vlad Guerrero. Are you kidding?
Yeah, the Angels need some offense.
Zimmerman popping one now down the right field line. Jock Jones is there, comes up firing. Here comes Soriano. And he is tagged out at the plate for the second time in this game. That's pretty remarkable. Out at home plate twice in 3 innings. And the game stays tied 2-2.
As you can see on my chart here, sales have exceeded...
What is that? Small business owner. They come in looking for loans. But we only care about big business.
Our cash... Whoa. Our cash...
They normally catch on fire like that? Yeah, let's get some lunch.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
Hello, Capital One?
What's in your wallet? Oh, I want a loan. I want a loan.
Your SUV is designed to go off-road, but sometimes the off-road comes to you. Introducing the new Goodyear Forterra with silent armor technology, made with SUV drivers in mind. A layer made with Kevlar means the Forterra is tough and rugged, and extra cushioning means the Forterra rides quietly and comfortably. The new Goodyear Forterra with silent armor technology. Go confidently on the wings of Goodyear.
Here's to men, to guys who want to take longer drives with fewer pit stops. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like going often, going urgently, weak stream, frequently waking up at night to go. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Well, it's been a long day for Strahan.
What a lovely shot.
Hey, maybe it's your deodorant. Let's start over. No, this time start with new Right Guard Sport Deodorant, now packed with even more scent. Right Guard, start right and right.
Fox Saturday Baseball sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? By Goodyear's new Eagle with Response Edge technology. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. Runners are being thrown out at every port in this game, and for Alfonso Soriano, he has cruised into port a couple times, going and standing up twice, and has been thrown out twice. at home plate.
Well, that ball wasn't hit particularly deep. And Jones came up throwing, made a really good accurate throw.
Now he's trying to bunt, and here comes Lewin Hernandez. He will tag out Jacque Jones. Moments ago, we had a chance to talk to Frank Robinson, and certainly wanted to get his reaction to what has gone on here in the first 3 innings with Soriano thrown out at the plate twice.
Well, that's real odd. That's not good base running.
What about your starting pitcher today, Lewin Hernandez? He was running the bases okay, and it looks like he's pitching okay, too.
Yeah, he's fine. You know, he's okay once he throws the ball over the plate, mixes in his pitches.
As for this ball club right now, Frank, a lot of rumors about who's going and where they're going and when they're going. What do you think about all that? What do you say on record as a manager?
Well, I say on record, there's nothing you can do about it. That's part of the game, trade rumors, and focus on baseball and let's win some ball games.
Gonna go tell Soriano to slide one time?
I might tell him.
All right. Thanks, Frank. Well, the great thing about Frank Robinson,
he tells it like it is.
Well, he does. And, you know, and the thing, Lou, is he doesn't need the gig. You know, I mean, he's here because, let's face it, baseball initially asked him to go to Montreal. Frank has served baseball in every conceivable way you can think of. Player, manager, front office, broadcaster. He's done everything but pop the popcorn and sell it.
Well, he's worked with you in the booth.
Yeah, he was great. As are you. You know, I'm not playing favorites one over the other. I just, you know, Frank is a guy that, look, he can go tell Soriano, get your fanny out to left field in spring training or I'm not playing it. He can go over today if he wants to and say, you know, seriously, you might want to mix in a slide one time. And if anybody wants to get on Frank for getting on Soriano, they can walk away.
Well, Frank played the game hard. Infielders hated to see him bearing down at second base trying to break up a double play. So Frank got dirty when he played.
And even now, you know, the thing I really enjoy about Frank is the glare. I thankfully have only been the recipient of it a couple times, but that icy stare that he can give you when he's not agreeing with where you're going.
Yeah, he's a little intimidating. There's no question. And he made a great point about the trades.
Nevin, a big rip.
There's not much you can do.
No, there's really not. Just manage what you got. Down goes Nevin. Let's get you back to Jeannie. Another game break.
And we have a rain delay in the Big Apple. No problem for Lance Berkman. He waited 63 minutes to do this, and it was worth the wait. A 2-run home run. Rain delay may be a problem for Orlando Hernandez. Preston Wilson giving one a ride as well. It is 3-0 Astros, bottom 1.
And from Orlando Hernandez to Lewin Hernandez, the half-brothers, both featured on Fox today. Ronnie Cedeno, the batter.
I'll tell you, the Mets have had a great season.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, running away 13 games up on the suddenly hot Atlanta Braves.
But you look at their pitching, Josh, their starting pitching.
They could use one more, couldn't they?
Yeah, I think that they could use the starting pitching. Their offense, they can generate runs in a hurry. They've got speed, they've got some power, they've got some switch hitters, they've got some left-handed, right-hand hitting. But boy, I'll tell you, they're a little thin starting pitching wise.
Hernandez, well, let's face it, is not a little thin. Might be a guy that could draw some interest. 31 years old and a lot of veteran savvy. There's a walk. Check our AutoZone strike zone for Sean Marshall and Lewin Hernandez. Both of them really struggled in the first inning, Lou. We saw a total of close to 50 pitches between Hernandez and Marshall in the first inning.
Well, Hernandez has had some problems in the first inning this year. And the youngster Marshall, the past 5 or 6 weeks or so, he's been struggling also. But they've both gotten it together, and they're pitching good baseball now.
Time called so Cedeno can move his gloves.
You know, some base runners put gloves on when they get on base. Some takes gloves off.
Gary Matthews over there just has to hold on to him now. There's a strike taken by Henry Blanco.
I've been watching the velocity on Hernandez's pitches. And there's a fastball, 84 miles an hour. And that's about the speed where he's gotten himself in problems.
Towards right on the line, a fair ball. Cedeno to third base. Cedeno is held. We've already seen a ton of guys thrown out on the bases today. A double right on the chalk.
Again, 84-mile-an-hour fastball right on the chalk. Kearns makes a nice play on this ball. If Lopez had been on second, they might have had a play on the runner Blanco. You see Kearns, he comes over and barehands this ball.
Left a nice little divot out there in right field,
yeah,
too.
Makes a nice strong throw.
Well, second and third, that's the good news for the Cubs. Not as good news, the fact that the pitcher has to swing the bat now. But remember, Sean Marshall homered off of Hernandez last weekend. El Duque, Orlando Hernandez. Levon Hernandez delivering outside. There it was.
Pretty nice swing. Good extension. Low fastball.
Well, here's this is the pitcher.
Well, maybe the other Hernandez's brother called Levon this morning and said, look.
Tipped him off?
Yeah. Be careful when Big Marshall comes up to the plate.
Ten cuidado, my friend.
Ten cuidado. I like it.
Marshall's got to be a tough guy to walk, though, Lou. He's 6'7.5".
Big strike zone. Tell you what, he gets in the crowd, so he doesn't stand up there real tall. The pitchers, they really like to swing the bat, don't they? You listen to them, they're all 300 hitters.
He swings. Didn't go real well.
Well, there's the old equalizer, that breaking ball. I'll tell you, National League pitchers have a big advantage over their American League counterparts in that they get up there to hit. They find out it's hard to hit. You make good pitches, you get people out.
On appeal, nothing happening. 3-2. Juan Pierre on deck.
Yeah, let's not get cute on this pitch. Let's go get this hitter. Pierre's been one of the hottest Cubs for quite a while now.
He took it and down he goes. Still tied, 2-2.
This is Duralast, the alternator built to exceed the need. Built with heavy-duty components to perform under extreme conditions. Engineered to surpass original equipment standards for longer life. Built with the technology to withstand high electrical demands. And backed by a nationwide lifetime warranty. Get the alternator built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life? How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels
Officers? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy so you can have more fun. To make your body happy.
Drink more water, like new Aquafina Sparkling, bursting with natural flavors. For a tongue-tingling taste and 0 calories, try Aquafina Sparkling.
Subway Dinner Theatre presents The Unfed.
I smell a blockbuster. And for dinner, Subway restaurants.
Try our delicious turkey breast with honey mustard and cucumber sandwich. Savory turkey, crisp veggies, and sweet honey mustard sauce.
Subway! Eat ice!
Fox Saturday Baseball sponsored by Chevy, baseball's #1 fan, Chevy, an American Revolution. They just had the running of the presidents here. In between innings, Lou, that's, you know, they got the sausage race in Milwaukee, the pierogies run around in Pittsburgh. Got a bunch of dead presidents running around here in between the innings at RFK Stadium now. And for those of you scoring at home, Honest Abe with a late burst. Edging out, was that who, Roosevelt?
Well, last night it was Washington that won.
Well, yeah.
And today Roosevelt had a big lead, but I think he pulled a hammy.
Tune in next week for Grover Cleveland against William McKinley. A steel cage match. We'll get in the octagon.
There, you can see that that Roosevelt just pulled up lame.
That boggles the mind. Here we go, bottom 4. Sean Marshall had a chance to do what all announcers say pitchers can do. Help his own cause, Lou, but he didn't do it. Second and third, 2 outs. He took strike 3. Facing Nick Johnson. And we'll pour one in.
And Johnson's a good, solid major league player. Can hit for average, can hit for power. This year, the secret, he stayed healthy. The problems with Johnson, they've had trouble getting him on the field. Good defensive first baseman. Just a good all-around player.
Likened to a young Don Mattingly by many. Nails that one into left field.
And he's at his best when he goes that way with the ball.
In a 2-2 game, he is on the leadoff for fourth as we take a look at the Avo-Dart in-game box score. Soriano with a double and a triple already. But strangely, has been thrown out at home plate twice in this game, both times going in standing up.
Yeah, I wonder if Frank said anything to him. Now, I wonder if Nick Johnson has been behind home plate giving him the slide sign.
He would be the guy to do it as the on-deck man. But poor Ryan Zimmerman, I mean, he's been up twice and he's responsible for 4 outs because both times Soriano was thrown out at the plate on something he did. Johnson getting back. Austin Kearns the batter. Kearns had been just 4 of 21 since coming over from Cincinnati, Lou. And then he crushed one his last time up.
Yeah, yesterday before the ball game.
This one towards the corner and right.
Yeah, taking early BP. Frank was talking to him, Robinson, telling the young man, just relax.
Not an easy thing to do, though, I wouldn't think.
You come over to a new team, you want to impress. Not the easiest thing in the world to do for a player. I'm sure he was very comfortable there in Cincinnati. First time you're ever traded. Once you get traded once, it becomes second nature. But I remember when I got traded from Kansas City to New York, I cried. It's the best thing that happened to me.
But at the time,
it was shocking.
It's almost like, what don't they like about me, right?
Exactly.
Matos near the line at third. A wide throw, safe there. Off the bag and dropping the baseball. Nathy Perez and the Nationals will continue this rally here. Error is charged to the third baseman, Ramirez.
Yeah, the Nationals get a break here. Ramirez just makes a wide throw. Perez can't stay on the bag. Again, a one-hop, two-hopper actually. Ramirez, plenty of time to get the force at second. Pulls Perez off the bag.
Just back to the topic at hand, too, about Kearns and also Lopez getting traded over. Neither of them off to great starts, but you were talking about Frank Robinson. Heck, he was traded from Cincinnati, and it was quite a shock to him. They called him an old 30 when he went to Baltimore and, I don't know, won a Triple Crown and stuff like that. Led him to World Series one after the other.
Well, I'm sure Frank would like to be up there at times with men in scoring position.
You know what? At 70 years old, I bet you could still bang one up the middle, too.
I'll tell you, he's to stand right up on the plate. Dare pitchers to pitch him inside. Had a really quick, short, compact swing.
And it kept on and going that way for years. He was not, as it turned out, an old 30. What does that make Austin Kearns, an old 27 getting dealt over here?
Boy, there are a lot of good young talented major league players making quite an impact.
Well, the Nationals have acquired a couple of them, Kearns and Lopez.
Yeah, it's rare when a team can get two everyday players in one deal. Cincinnati needed some pitching.
Yeah, I think they made that trade, Lou, with kind of a go for it. Here's our window, now or never mentality. The Reds haven't been in the playoffs since '95, haven't been in the series since you led them there in 1990. And there is the deal.
Well, they needed some bullpen help, and the Nationals gave them a few good young arms. Well, hopefully it's a deal that helps both organizations.
Breaking ball missing to Marlon Anderson. He had a season-high 3 runs batted in last night. Robert Fick is on deck. And one more out of the strike zone here from Marshall. He's going to have to deal with Fick and the bases loaded.
Three and two. I don't think the runners will be going with the left-hand hitter.
They are going. And a swing and a miss. They should have listened to you. A double play, and again the Nationals make outs on the bases. Tied 2-2 at the end of 4.
It's simple. One family, one vehicle. The all-new Chevy Suburban with seating for up to 9 and an estimated 21 miles per gallon highway. Suburban, an American revolution.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going during the movies and hating to stand up, going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
Speeches for you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
If you're looking to ramp up your ride, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has a brand new special order center just for you. Your one-of-a-kind, one-stop shop for everything you could ever want in parts and performance accessories. Everything from lift kits to cool custom accessories is ready for direct-to-your-door delivery or convenient in-store pickup. When you want the most complete selection of parts and accessories, the only place to go is the new special order center in Advance Auto Parts.
We're ready in advance.
Baby Ruth is a great-tasting candy bar. And when you have peanuts, nougat, and caramel, you don't need bells and whistles. All right, here's one whistle. But no bells. Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
RFK Stadium and the grand reopening weekend of such. The Washington Nationals now under new ownership fairly officially. And Stan Kasten is basically running the show now. He's taking the time to join us as we get on in the 5th inning. And first of all, Stan, congratulations on the gig. I mean, it is a heck of a thing to be in charge of baseball in the nation's capital, I would think.
You know, it's the most exciting thing in sports, to be able to build this franchise from where it is, to build it with a new stadium in the most important city, not just in the country, but in the world. That's a very cool opportunity, and we're all very excited about it.
It's America's pastime. America's capital's got to have baseball. It just seems to make sense. And the Nationals last year obviously put a charge into everything, as Pierre is going to bounce out right here to start the 5th. The team hung in for a while. This year, I guess maybe a step back in the short term, but long term, how are things looking in terms of being ready to be competitive when that ballpark opens?
Well, we know that we have a challenge ahead of us. They did a good job of maintaining a competitive team on the field. The job that lies in front of us is building up our infrastructure and player development. Starts with a lot more emphasis on scouting and player development. We've already begun that. Efforts in the Dominican, efforts in the Pacific, and signing draft picks. We've already begun that process. It'll take a little while, but we know we'll get there.
Stan, a great new ownership group.
You know, that's the secret here. It was the success. It was the secret behind the success. The last team I was with. This is the exact reason we're going to succeed here. We have the Lerner family and all their other partners. Decades of Washington success, all with long-term planning and long-term success. That's what they're planning for. That's the way they build things, and that's the way they're going to allow us to build it here.
So basically, the format will be a lot like the job you did in Atlanta.
Well, I hope. We had an awful lot of people who deserve all the credit there. We're putting together a very good staff here too, and the front office staff. How about the job they did getting the stadium ready, getting the city pumped up for this grand reopening this weekend?
Yeah, the stadium looks wonderful.
All the fans encouraged to get their red on this weekend. Lou and I have done it. I mean, we showed up, we were wearing blue and green.
Yeah, we want to thank the Fox people for going to the red. That was great of you guys.
Actually, to tell a tale, it was completely random, but it worked out well. And here's part of what we're talking about, red carpet treatment, so to speak.
Red carpet treatment, fans and coaches and owners. There's Mark Lerner greeting our new fans at the gates. And there's, of course, the skipper, Frank Robinson. Ryan Zimmerman.
I even got my Washington cap this week down in Tampa.
Oh, is that okay? That's great.
Ramirez once again going airborne. Wow. He had 2 yesterday. He's got 2 today. And the Chicago Cubs behind Ramirez lead the game 3-2. There is one guy putting a damper on the grand reopening, and you're looking at him, Aramis Ramirez of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, he's putting on a show here this weekend for these Washington National fans. First at bat, he got a hanging curveball. The second at bat, all fastballs. And again, here's another breaking ball by Hernandez. And that's the 4th one in the upper deck past couple days.
And they've all been to about the same spot. They've all been very impressive. And Ramirez, who when he came to Washington had 17 home runs, well, now he's got 21 for the season. Mabry takes the strike. Stan, I'm sure you were having more fun looking at Frank Robinson shaking hands. Sorry.
Well, you know, we have long-term plans here, and we're not deterred by short-term disappointments. And every game we've won the last couple weeks has been the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, so long way to go for us.
John Mabry grounding out. Stan, continued success. We've been treated great here. We really appreciate everything.
Thanks, guys. And we look forward to you coming back many times.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie.
So I got a promotion. Wow.
Hey, big office?
At Bank of America, you'll find our managers out front in the lobby.
Mm-hmm. Pretty big.
Does it have a window?
Huge.
There to assist you with your needs and get you on your way.
Manager, just be careful you don't lose touch with your customers.
Wouldn't worry about that one, Dad. Peek in there.
Expert personal attention. Another example of higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
Subway Dinner Theater presents The Dad Who Tried to Make Dinner. Can't wait for the musical. And for dinner, Subway restaurants.
And the delicious new bourbon chicken sandwich. Tender chicken in a zesty sauce, hot and fresh from the oven on freshly baked bread.
Subway! Eat fresh!
The roaming gnome, enforcer of the Travelocity Guarantee.
Uh-oh, all is not well. I must tell them. Good morning.
Hello. Speaking?
So, you're calling to help me rebook?
Because the hotel pool's under construction?
Oh, dear.
Wow. The Travelocity Guarantee. Looking out for you even before you go.
Ooh, tingly.
This is Duralast, the battery built to exceed the need. Engineered with all the cranking power you need for extreme conditions. Get the battery built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Hello, weird guy.
Coming to DVD.
My bad.
Underdogs everywhere will finally have their day.
Yes!
Coming to DVD and Blu-ray.
Clark, you kissed a girl before I did?
This is way better than macaroni.
Fox Saturday Baseball sponsored by Subway. Subway, eat fresh. By Travelocity.com. Book with Travelocity and you'll never roam alone. And by the auto parts experts at AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Robert Fick at the plate for the Washington Nationals. They've had the leadoff man on base in every inning, Lou. But right now they're trailing 3-2.
Yeah, they haven't taken advantages.
Boy, Sean Marshall, something happened on that pitch. No action in the Chicago bullpen right now, but Marshall, right after delivering that pitch, something happened. It's a lot of body right there, 6'7.5".
It's not a good sign when trainers got to come out. Last night it happened to the Cubs with the lead the 8th inning and Iyer on the mound. They had to get him out of the ball game. In came Howery, and the Nationals scored 3 runs. But
see if we can pick up anything here. They're reaching for that rib cage, it looked like.
Yeah, that oblique muscle. We've heard how many times this year have we heard? I'm not sure that's what it is. But
well, the Cubs may have to make a change right here. And Marshall, I mean, I'm sure he wants to continue. He's got a 3-2 lead. He's got to get through 5 innings to get credit for a win. There's no way he wants out of this game.
Well, this young man's got a bright future ahead of him. I'm sure he doesn't want to come out of the ball game, but Dusty and the training staff are doing the right thing, getting him out of there.
Scott Williamson is going to have to come on now. So just when Marshall gets the lead, he's got to go. We'll come back in a moment on Fox.
For years, I ate a lot of burgers and fries. And it showed. Really showed. So I started exercising and eating low-fat Subway sandwiches. I realized I could enjoy great-tasting food without all the fat. And that showed, too. And the delicious new bourbon chicken sandwich helps me keep it off. Tender chicken in a zesty sauce, hot and fresh from the oven, with just 5 grams of fat. 5! McDonald's spicy chicken has 17. Weigh your options. Choose Subway restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh.
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life. How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
The roaming gnome, enforcer of the Travelocity Guarantee.
Uh-oh, all is not well. I must tell them. Good morning.
Hello. Speaking?
So, you're calling to help me rebook?
Because the hotel pool's under construction?
Oh, dear.
Wow. The Travelocity Guarantee. Looking out for you even before you go.
Ooh, tingly.
Are you getting enough fiber? Goodyear's new Eagle Response Edge gives you more of what you crave. The added performance of carbon fiber. A carbon fiber reinforced sidewall creates added stability for sharp maneuvering and a better feel for the road, while a shock-absorbing insulator delivers a smooth, quiet ride. The new Goodyear Eagle Response Edge. Getting your fiber has never been so fun. Innovation on the wings of Goodyear.
Scott Williamson, rumored to be among the many on the trade block for the Chicago Cubs, has to come on for Sean Marshall. Marshall leaving due to injury here. One pitch into the fifth. We had chatted with Dusty Baker in between the top of the fifth and bottom of the fifth, and obviously before the Sean Marshall injury took place. The big topic was the kind of day Aramis Ramirez is having. He had a huge day yesterday, too, with 2 home runs. Ramirez 2 home runs today, and we talked to Dusty about that.
Well, he is, and I mean, last night our cleanup man was cleaning up, and today he's batting third. He got a stroke going on. I'm telling you, you know, pitches he was missing earlier in the year. Right now, he's whacking them, and he's hitting them a long way.
Dusty, Derek Lee, give him another day off?
Yeah, another day off. That hand's still bothering. We're trying to get it back strong, Lou, and you know, he'll play tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be ready for that New York series. So we're just trying to, you know, different exercises to get that hand strong, different tape jobs, you know, so he doesn't feel the pain.
Oh, you get a few of these guys hot, like Pierre and Jones. You get Lee back in there. Ramirez swings it. All of a sudden, your offense looks a lot better.
Well, it looks a whole lot better, I'm telling you. And, you know, it's tough, Lou. You know that when you're not scoring runs and, you know, you're losing close games or you're leaving runners out there a lot, it just puts pressure on the pitchers, puts pressure on everybody.
Thank you, Dusty.
All right,
Thanks,
see you guys
Doug.
later. All right.
Dusty Baker, and now having to go to the bullpen for Williamson. He'll inherit a 1-0 count on Robert Fick.
Yeah, Williamson's usually more of a shorter type guy. He's had to come here in the 5th inning. And you're right, he's one of the pitchers that on this Cub staff there's been trade talk about.
Not a lot of untouchables really on either team right now. They're both looking to get better. The Cubs have been looking, well, I mean, let's face it, it's been about 100 years since their last World Series victory. So.
Was it 1915, is it?
Well, for them, 1908.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, last time they were even in one was 1945. Lost to the Tigers in 7 that year. And we're told, Lou, a new car cost $800 in 1945. Can fill it up for that now.
It's getting close to that.
Yeah, it is. Vic takes on the outside corner. It has been said that rooting for the Cubs is kind of like rooting for Charlie Brown to kick the football. You know, I mean, you know Lucy's going to pull the ball away. You know poor old Charlie Brown's going to fall right on the zigzags. But Charlie Brown kept on trying, and so do the Cubs now for about 100 years.
Well, with the Red Sox winning a couple years ago.
Right. I mean, and the White Sox.
And with their crosstown rivals, the White Sox winning last year, things look bright for the Cubs.
Something, they're next. They've got next. Something's got to give here. But will Dusty Baker be around to see it? I guess is one of the big questions right now. A lot of talk about a managerial change. It's funny, and you know this better than anybody, Lou, how this works. I mean, all throughout the 03 season, when it looked like the Cubs would make the World Series, there were handmade signs all around Wrigley that said, "In Dusty, we trust him." And you don't see many of those signs these days.
Fans are fickle. Dusty's a good manager, I can tell you that.
Three-2 pitch to Fick. They'll chop it near short. Cedeno got him. Let's take a look at the Burger King Have It Your Way home field advantage for these Washington Nationals. A new ballpark not until 2008. They're going to have some fun with what they got here at RFK between now and then. New Kids Fun Zone on the 300 level. Remember, fans, you can always have it your way at Burger King.
Very nice swing.
That's a great look right there.
Good looking youngster.
Here's the pitcher, Lewin Hernandez. He can swing the stick.
Well, he stroked one right down that right field line the time before. 289.
That was not quite the same swing that got him to second base last time. Wasn't the same pitch, though, either.
Well, that was a pretty good pitch down the zone. Yeah, Williamson's got a good fastball. When he gets ahead of you, he tries to put you away with that split finger.
Williamson on for Marshall. Obviously, Hernandez all the way. He's had a bunch of no decisions all in a row here, Lou. Last 3 games, matter of fact. He's never in his career had 4 games in a row without a decision.
Good piece of hitting there, fouling off another split finger. Well, I think the highest pitch count he's had this year is 102 pitches. You can see the split finger pitch here. You see it tumbling.
On the ground to third, off the chest of Ramirez. But that's the pitcher running. He's got time. And Hernandez kind of walks into the out. Now with 2 down, Soriano coming up. He has doubled and he has tripled. That's the good news, Lou, but we're about to look at the bad news here for Soriano. Out twice at the plate.
Yeah, Frank wasn't too happy about either play. Yeah, you can see the base runner, Johnson, or the next hitter, Johnson. He wasn't in position to let the runner know that he had to slide.
Soriano leaning out over that plate. And that is one of the longest, heaviest bats in baseball, too, Lou.
And he keeps it in that hitting zone a long time. You know, the book on Soriano is you can get him with the breaking ball. But I'll tell you this, he's a really good strike breaking ball hitter.
That ball is fair. He's got a 3-hit game going right now. He might not get that cycle because he has just zipped past a single. That is his second double of the day to go with the triple. And we'll watch the plate coverage right here. Look at his swing.
Well, the catcher's sitting right on the outside corner, a breaking ball. And we were talking about the fact that Soriano's a really good strike breaking ball hitter. He will chase the breaking ball out of the zone. But boy, when it stays in the strike zone, his bat stays in that zone a long, long time. And that's a secret to hitting the breaking ball.
35-ounce, 33-inch bat. Well, that's the Washington Monument up there he's featuring.
I'll tell you, and he's a wiry kid. Awfully strong.
What'll be interesting here is if Lopez singles, will they waive Soriano and go for the trifecta at home plate?
You know, when you look at Soriano with that 35-33 that you alluded to, most major league hitters use bats that are 32 ounces or lighter. In fact, most of them are in that 31 to 31.5 ounce category, and 34.5 inches, maybe 35. So he uses a big bat.
Julio Franco's been doing that for years too. He's doing it when he's 50.
Boy, and I can see that early in the season when it's nice and cool and you're strong. But boy, as the summer wears on and the humidity gets thick, and weather gets warmer, usually you start dropping down a little bit.
I wonder
get a little more bat speed.
We talked earlier, Lou, about him almost getting that 40-40 season. He missed by 1 home run. It went the last 3 weeks of the season looking for that home run. I'm with you. I wonder if the lighter bat later in the season doesn't make more sense. But I mean, heck, the guy had 39 home runs, 43 steals that year, hit 300. I'm not going to tell him.
No, I'm not either. But the hitting coach can recommend those things to you. Sees your swing getting a little longer, a little slower. That's part of the hitting coach's job to say, look, young man, let's get you to the ball a little easier. A little lighter bat, maybe drop a ½ an inch in length. All those things help at times.
Soriano was dealt reluctantly from New York to Texas, then even more reluctantly at first from Texas to the Nationals. But now he's saying a lot of great things about playing here in D.C., saying he hopes it works out that he can stay.
Well, when you get traded a few times, you want to find a place that you can call home.
Another one down in the dirt.
Well, Williamson's having little problems with that split finger pitch.
Williamson pressed into duty when Sean Marshall left with what looked like possibly a rib cage injury. Nothing official from the Cubs yet. And now on 3-2. Up and in. Pretty good at bat by Lopez right there.
Yeah, he's very selective. Young hitters tend to get a little over anxious. Chase pitches out of the zone.
Ryan Zimmerman, what a great fit for this franchise.
Reminds me a lot of great young third baseman with the New York Mets.
David Wright?
Mr. Wright, yes.
I think a lot of similarities there.
They're both from the same area, aren't they?
Yeah, both living in the Virginia Beach area now. And Zimmerman actually Washington born, but Washington, North Carolina, not Washington, D.C. Fair. Zimmerman comes through. Down into the corner it goes, and Nevin's got to go pull it out of there. 2 runs are in. Washington is on top. From a pair of double plays to just a double for Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, this makes Frank awfully happy. Soriano didn't have to slide. Good piece of hitting. Got a good fastball in on the hands and drilled it right into the corner.
Boy, and Nevin can't win for losing trying to play that left field corner, Lou. Earlier, he went into the corner and got burned because the ball never did get there. This time, he came running in thinking that the ball was going to hit that cutout, but instead it got to the corner.
Yeah, it's a tricky little corner. Hit padding, and Nevin picked it up and got it back in the infield.
Going to go ahead and walk Nick Johnson now. Make it righty versus righty. Former Reds teammates will face each other. Williamson versus Kearns will be the matchup.
Tell you, a good 2-out rally here by the Nationals.
Yeah, Fick grounded out. Hernandez grounded out. But then Soriano jump-started everything with the double. Lopez was down 0-2, but came back to work the walk. And then Zimmerman with the double into the corner.
Yeah, you talk about Soriano and the trade possibilities. But you start looking at this national team, and you've got Soriano in the leadoff spot. Now you got a switch hitter Lopez in the 2-hole. Now you got the youngster Zimmerman in the 3-hole, Johnson and Kearns. You're starting to put together a nice little offense.
Kearns is up to 17 home runs this year. Take it back to the second inning. And Austin, yes, powers it out. Remember, one is a national. He had 16 in Cincy. You know, Lou, when Bob Boone managed the Reds, he always called this guy his most professional hitter. That is very high praise.
Yeah, he's very selective at home plate, patient. You know, watching this inning is deja vu all over for the Cubs last night. They had to go get Iyer in the 8th inning. They brought in Howery. And National scored 3 runs. Today it's Williamson.
Same thing though. Base hits
and
into
Marshall.
Base hits into that left field corner, doing them in.
Exactly. Last night it was the new guy that.
Oh yeah, Escobar with the big hits yesterday.
Hit that ball into the corner.
Williamson getting ahead in the battle of former Red versus former Red. Now the former Reds are now having an impact for these Washington Nationals, Lopez and Kearns. In the air, shallow right. And Jacques Jones will lock it up, but the Nationals teeter back into the lead. It is 4-3.
It's a fact. The more we learn about how to take care of ourselves and our families, the longer and healthier our lives become. That's why more people turn to WebMD than any other health information source. It's a place where people find answers to health questions with an ease never before possible, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can finally forge a link between better information and better health. WebMD.
As you can see on my chart here, sales have exceeded...
What is that? Small business owner. They come in looking for loans. But we only care about big business.
Quarter. Our cash... Whoa. Our cash...
Do they normally catch on fire like that? Yeah, let's get some lunch.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
Hello, Capital One?
What's in your wallet? Oh, I want a loan. I want a loan.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? A single? We don't do single! Get some more meat down here now!
Okay.
Boss, the meat! The meat! Get this meat off of me!
New BK Stacker, bacon and cheese on flame broiled beef. Stack it high, tough guy.
If you haven't discovered the miracle of fusion, it's time you did. Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, plus the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual and battery powered. Gillette guarantees it or your money back. Gillette Fusion.
Baby Ruth is the candy bar for baseball guys. Guys who like peanuts, nougat, and caramel every bit as much as a grand slam. And if you're a woman who likes that stuff, want to go to a ball game? Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, the stars are out, aren't they? Welcome, Mr. Hanks. Loved you in Joe versus the Volcano. And yeah, a couple other movies that you made there. Pretty good, too.
Well, he got the cap. I'm not so sure he got a T-shirt.
Well, maybe he's
there it is.
Hey, yeah, put it on. Put on your red.
There it is.
What? All right. Okay. And the hat, right.
Big baseball fan.
And scoring. He's paying attention, Lou.
Well, you know, I need for him to teach me.
You know what, Tom? Seriously,
scoring the ball game.
Lou Piniella does not keep a scorebook. I'm telling you.
You see what he said? Oh, the heck with it. It's impossible.
If Tom Hanks can do it, you can do it.
I agree with you.
Tom is one of the best all-around. I mean, not only actors, but he's into so much. He can score a game. You can score a game.
I'll tell you what, he looks in pretty good shape, too.
He's turning 50, we're told. Frank Robinson's rookie year is when Mr. Hanks was born. And in Frank Robinson's hometown. Tom's a Skyline High School guy, I believe, in Oakland. And McClymonds High for Frank. Yeah. Scram, kid, you're bothering me. Jones chipping one into center field. Now watch, Lou. Mr. Hanks is going to write that down on his scorecard. It is just that easy, just like that. That's all you got to do. One line, right, Tom? Just, yeah. I don't think Tom Hanks could have managed the Reds to a World Series, but he's with you I mean, he's got you on this one, Lou.
Well, I remember when I managed Cincinnati. Another very successful actor.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen used to come out all the time.
Yeah, he's good.
And we used to keep him out in the bullpen and warm up pitchers from time to time.
Did you really?
Yes. He enjoyed it.
He was a wild
Big
thing.
Reds fan, yes. Worked on his pitching off the mound. Pitching coach had a great time with him.
I've heard that. Oh, no, never mind. That one's downstairs to Phil Nevin. Good times seem to follow Charlie Sheen. Let's put it that way. I wonder if Robert's pick is going to do some extra work out there trying to impress Tom Hanks here today. We've talked about Robert's acting aspirations, the fact that he's been in a Gatorade commercial and on Webster.
Well, we've got to get Tom down into their clubhouse after the ball game.
Nevin checks and takes inside. See, that's how Robert Pick has Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was never on Webster. I don't think.
Curious to see here if the Cubbies put the game in motion a little bit.
Nevin unable to connect. You've got Cedeno next and then Blanco. Dusty Baker's team has been seesawing today. Up 2-0. Tied 2-2. Up 3-2 and now down 4-3.
Well, I'm pretty sure he'll go on 3-2. Jones can run a little bit. Got 5 stolen bases.
You know, it's interesting right now, Lou. You've got no one working in the Chicago bullpen. Williamson certainly could bat in this inning, the way it's shaping up.
Yeah, you're right. Although in this heat.
Runner going and Fick not throwing. Nevin strikes out.
In this heat, it doesn't take too long to get somebody warmed up.
6 stolen bases now for John Jones this year.
Well, he got a good jump. It was a breaking ball. Fick had no chance, and he did the right thing by just holding on to it.
Now Frank Robinson coming out.
Again, we talked about the pitch count with Hernandez. He's getting close to that 100 pitch count.
There's at 94 right now.
I think the most he's thrown this year is 102.
Stanton and Rivera have both been up in that bullpen. And for now, Frank says, well, let's keep going.
Well, the manager goes out there and talks to the pitcher. How do you feel? Have you had enough? Can you get me a couple more hitters? Sometimes it's just to give him a breather.
some debris ended up on the field. And look at this guy. I mean, he came on running to pick it up. I'm assuming that's what this guy was charged with doing. Yeah, somebody on the grounds crew went out to pick up some debris, went all the way out to center field, but right at the end of the pitching change. Or not the pitching change, but the conversation on the mound. And then it was like a bad joke. He was like, oh, it's play ball now?
Tell you what, Frank Beamer's going to recruit him at Virginia Tech. He's had good success recruiting over here in the Washington area.
Did you not have blood relations that played at Virginia Tech?
Yeah, my son played there for Frank. He really enjoyed it.
I can see that guy on special teams. I mean, he got back in a hurry from center field when he realized the game was on again. It is a hot, humid afternoon here in D.C. 1 strike pitch. Make it 0-2. We're told, by the way, that it was a strained left oblique muscle for Sean Marshall that forced him out of the game. There's that word, oblique, again.
Yeah, when you see a pitcher grab around the midsection, there's a good chance Mr. Oblique will be involved.
Did those used to just be called rib injuries? Is that why we're hearing oblique more? Is this kind of the new?
Josh, you're exactly right. I mean, you hear terms today that when I played, they're non-existent.
Well, how about walk-off? I mean, I'm the guiltiest of this. It's a walk-off hit, a walk-off home run.
The game was over.
That's right. The game-ending hit.
That's it.
If the game ends on a walk-off oblique pull, we've got something. There's a foul by Cedeno.
You know, the Nationals aren't holding Jones on at all. Hernandez is not particularly quick to the plate. And Fick doesn't really throw that well.
Fouled right back this way again. Got a crowd of about 35,000 here again today, Lou. Again, the part of that grand reopening weekend. A lot of positives right now regarding this Washington Nationals team. The transferring of ownership.
Isn't it great to have baseball back in our nation's capital?
That just makes sense.
Sure does.
New stadium ready to go for 2008. Well, Cedeno lunging at that one, pops it up. That'll leave the inning to Henry Blanco. Let's check our Pepsi Clutch performance. Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, proud to present the Pepsi Clutch performance from last weekend. Now the Mets, a grand slam thing going on. Mets winning 13-7.
Yeah, I watched that game on television. What a helpless feeling when you're sitting in that dugout.
More Pepsi Clutch performances can be found at PepsiClutch.MLB.com. Be sure to watch for the Pepsi Clutch performance each week on Fox. Again, with the Cubs, it has been a chronic lack of clutch performance, Lou. The batting average, we mentioned it, with runners in scoring position, is way last in Major League Baseball. I mean, nobody's even close to 188.
Yeah, that's a futile number. The Nationals are choosing to get the 8th hitter out, Blanco.
They've got Pagan on deck. He would hit in the pitcher's spot. And it still might come to that. Hernandez pitching carefully. It's 2-0. And Hernandez not exactly hurrying through his innings today, Lou. A very slow pace on a very hot day.
Yeah, I think this just might be his last hitter, if not certainly his last inning.
Inside, 3-0. Up to 103 pitches today.
Yeah, this is his high for the year. What's the old saying? He's running out of gas.
Finds the strike zone right there. But when Hernandez pitched for Dusty Baker in San Francisco, the pitch counts were allowed to get up there pretty good.
A little younger. Difference. San Francisco, the weather stays cooler. Good breaking ball.
Yeah, 3-2. Does he come right back with that? 3-2?
I would think so. I don't think he'll give in to the hitter here.
It gets away from Fick. But he's going to recover. He's going to fire. And Hernandez is out of the inning.
Wherever you're going, there's a car company that wants you to get more out of a gallon of gas. Chevy. 9 out of 10 cars we sell get an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon or better. Here's one that doesn't, but it still gets 26 mpg highway. Chevy, we're taking a full tank further. That's an American revolution.
Taco Bell's new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled so it's good to go. For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
If you're looking to ramp up your ride, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has a brand new special order center just for you. It's your one-of-a-kind one-stop shop for everything from performance parts to cool custom accessories.
You know you make me wanna take my heels off.
Officers? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy, so you can have more fun.
To make your body happy. Drink more water, like new Aquafina Sparkling, bursting with natural flavors. For a tongue-tingling taste and 0 calories, try Aquafina Sparkling.
This fall, the biggest thrills on television are all on one night. The new Fox Monday. Last season, Prison Break went out with a bang.
Come on, Michael!
This fall, it comes back with a vengeance. The greatest manhunt in history is on. The season premiere of Prison Break. Then, what begins with an abduction
Sarah Collins, wife of Senator Jeffrey Collins, vanished.
will unveil a centuries-old conspiracy.
Looks like a saint.
It's a prayer card that reaches the highest level of government.
Do whatever it takes to get my wife back.
Be there before the secrets get out. Vanished after Prison Break, Monday, August 21st. The new fall season starts first on Fox.
Lewin Hernandez was pretty close to being removed from the game, it appeared, Lou. There's Matos taking inside.
Yeah, he got through that 6th inning, but it would surprise me if he's out there for the 7th.
106 pitches, and, you know, through 103 pitches, I guess. I mean, there he was looking at 3-0 on Henry Blanco. And I don't think he would have faced the pinch hitter, Pagan.
Yeah, experience got him through that at bat.
He came right back with 3 strikes in a row. Nationals trying to build on a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Macho's getting a chance to play quite a bit. Jose Guillen on the DL. And he was a guy that was rumored, Lou, to be on the trade block, but you can't trade a guy on the DL, right?
Yeah, Guillen would have been another of the Nationals players that there have been some interest in.
Rifled. There is Matos down into the corner. Boy, Phil Nevin has been busy digging balls out of that corner today. Matos on base for a second time.
Well, Nevin has been busy because the Cub pitchers are throwing that ball down and in. And major league hitters hit that pitch pretty well.
Cubs will look to change pitchers now. Get a lefty on there to face Anderson, perhaps. Or a check. Oh, no, it's going to be Omen. Come on. Yeah, Will Omen's coming in. So the Cubs make a pitching change, and we'll quickly go to Jeannie Velasco.
And the Mets take their first lead of the day. It's notable. Xavier Nady makes sure everyone sees it. 3-run shot deep to left. 4-3 Mets, bottom 4.
The X-Man getting it done. So here's the pitching change. And we'll come back and tell you about the new, well, an all-new battery, as a matter of fact, in just a moment on Fox.
It's a fact. The more we learn about how to take care of ourselves and our families, the longer and healthier our lives become. That's why more people turn to WebMD than any other health information source. It's a place where people find answers to health questions with an ease never before possible, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can finally forge a link between better information and better health. WebMD.
If you haven't discovered the miracle of fusion, it's time you did. Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, plus the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual and battery powered. Gillette guarantees it or your money back. Gillette Fusion.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
The righty, Will Omen, will come on to face Marlon Anderson. Roberts Pick will bat after that. And Omen, a guy with a fastball and a pretty good slider, part of a double switch here, Lou. Michael Barrett's going to come on and catch.
Yeah, this is his 45th appearance of the year. He's pitched 40 innings. Only allowed 31 hits. Did a good job for the Cubs out of that bullpen.
I believe I just called Omen a righty. Sorry about that. It is lefty versus lefty. Anderson trying to bunt.
And left-handed hitters are only hitting 164 off of him.
Well, the kind of game that you don't want to see it get away, I guess, Lou. It's a 4-3 score right now. And Omen's job is very simple. Keep it here at 4-3. You got the 2 lefties coming up, and Anderson and Fick.
And then from the offensive side, what you want to see are these tack-on runs. Make it awfully tough. Makes the other team score 2 for every one you score to catch up. Anderson's not too happy. Got 2 good pitches to bunt. Fouled them both off.
Frank doesn't seem real thrilled either.
Well, Frank didn't do much bunting when he played, though.
No.
Hey, you can see Marlon usually handles the bat pretty well, but he just jabbed at that pitch. Barrel of the bat was behind his hand and just fouled it off.
Yeah, one thing you didn't want to see Frank Robinson do was bunt.
Anderson. I would venture to say.
Oh, and there's Anderson called out on appeal.
Frank's not going to be very happy about that either. I don't think he went.
put himself in that position with the inability to get the bunt down. Let's see here.
I think he held back. I didn't see him breaking the plane.
Rick Reed down there at third base.
Yeah, very iffy call by Mr. Reed.
Runner at second and 1 out now for Robert Fick. And a wild cut right there, 0-1.
Well, I can see why Oman has pretty good success against lefties. He hides that ball pretty well. He's a little herky-jerky out there, too.
Comes out of the bullpen throwing nothing but strikes.
You can see he stays closed very, very well. Hard to pick up. Boy, what a good luxury for a manager to have a left-hander can get left-hand hitters out.
On the ground, escorted over to short. Yeah, Ullman out of the bullpen doing exactly what the Cubs needed him to do.
Yeah, he started Fick off with a couple breaking balls, got him looking for the breaking ball, and crowded him with the fastball and jammed him.
Escobar will come up and pinch hit now for Lewin Hernandez, one of yesterday's heroes. Washington with that come from behind 7-6 win.
Yeah, he got the big hit yesterday in that 8th inning with 2 outs down the left field line. And I'm sure with Mr. Soriano hitting behind him, he's going to get some good pitches to hit here.
Escobar, who missed all of last year with a broken foot, stepped into that one yesterday.
Yeah, he's a good-looking youngster with the Mets, highly touted.
Yeah, their #1 prospect not too long ago. Boy, how about Ullman? Strike throwing machine here, goes to 0-2.
93 miles an hour. Good high heat. I've seen him pitch a few times, and he's always thrown the ball well.
8 straight strikes coming out of the bullpen.
Well, he comes right at you.
I always thought he had the perfect last name, though, too, for Cubs fans who've been watching losing for all these years. Put a comma in between the H and the M.
Oh,
man. Here we go again.
I'll tell you, even though the Cubbies haven't played like they expected to when the season started, a lot of young pitchers on that club that have some good arms and some good upside potential. And because of the injuries to couple of their starters, they've gotten a lot of work. So reminds me a little bit of the Detroit situation of a couple of years ago.
I think Cub fans would be willing to ride the wave here if it meant that a couple or 3 years from now that you know, they'd be sitting there with the best record in baseball. What they have now is not the worst. It's just not good. 37-58.
Yeah, the Cubs were expecting a lot more leaving spring training.
Didn't think Maddox would be leading the league in losses, that's for sure. That one's down, that gets away. A little game of chicken right there as the runner got to third. Matos kind of forcing Barrett, thinking, hey, he's got to turn around and pick up that ball sometime. I might just make a break for it here, but he didn't. Got to third and stayed there.
Yeah, there's a little breaking ball that Oman held on to a little bit too long. I thought it hit Matos. Evidently not. It did hit him. It hit him right on the back leg.
Now the 1-2 to Escobar coming. I will say this about the Nationals. They're not giving away at bats here in this game, Lou. They've been tough to finish off. Sean Marshall found that out. Only a couple of strikeouts today for Cub pitching. Matos down the line at third. And another foul ball. Another at bat here for the Washington team, where somebody's got 7 or 8 pitches going. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat coming now. Escobar waits for his pitch, drives it to left center field. Gone! And Lou, the inability to put him away.
Got 2 quick strikes on him. Got to pitch up in the zone.
Boy, the ball is jumping here on this hot, humid day.
Boy, and Escobar got all of this one. He's just limping around. When you hit him out of the ballpark, Josh, you don't have to run very fast.
As Kirk Gibson. After 4 2-strike fouls, jackpot. Soriano, a big rip here. He's down 0-1. So Escobar pinch hitting for Hernandez. Maybe ensuring that Hernandez will get a little closer to that 7th win of the season now. 6-3 Washington. Let's check out some sounds of the game following that home run.
Oh! Get up, Buck! Get up! Woo!
Boy, I thought that might be the hitting coach, Mitchell Page.
Nope, that was Felipe the Rage Lopez.
You know, when you get a lot of new players like the Nationals have gotten here over the past few weeks, the hitting coach has a lot of fun working with these guys, learning their swings. And when they respond, really makes you feel good. When they don't, the manager calls you in and says, well, what are we doing with these hitters?
We got a manager that batted more than 10,000 times in the big leagues.
Yeah, I'm sure Frank has a lot of input. With the national hitters. I used to love to watch him hit.
Oh, man.
Right over home plate. Dared people to pitch him inside. You couldn't jam him.
No. But you alluded to it, Lou. I think more than anything, a guy who played with a massive chip on his shoulder, ready to prove anything to anyone at any time.
You know, we talk about Frank and his hitting exploits. Dusty Baker was a pretty good hitter too.
Dusty
over with the Cubbies.
Dusty played for Frank at one point. with the Giants. Soriano down on strikes. The home run from Escobar helping out. Will come back after these words from your local Fox station.
The best-selling Ford F-150. Now with the no-charge 5.4-liter V8, you can fill it with E85 fuel made from Illinois and Iowa corn for better performance, cleaner air, and a stronger economy. All with 0 for 60. And we'll pay for your gas, including E85 until 2007.
I went home on leave last time. I was with my girl. She looks me straight in the eye. She says, "Rich, you got to quit smoking. Because I'm tired of you coming home smelling like smoked sausage and hickory chips all the time."
The smoked sausage breakfast sandwich, new at Hardee's.
One righteous decade. 6 far-out teenagers. A million groovy laughs.
What? That's just good TV.
That 70s Show, weekdays on Fox 18.
A lot of brilliant engineering went into making the Toyota Tacoma famously tough. Of course, a lot of brilliant engineering also went into making the interior really nice. It's no wonder R.L. Polk named Tacoma America's best-selling compact truck. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward.
Homer's going to college.
Damn! Oh, this is just like one of those bad dreams.
The Simpsons.
Monday at 5 on Fox 18.
There are 3 little letters that mean big trouble at Ray's house.
If there's ever anything wrong, it's PMS. Sometimes I just want to smack you.
Come on, Deborah,
Raymond,
please.
don't you say one more word or I'm going to send your mother right back in here to smack the crap out of you.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Monday at 6:30 on Fox 18. Laugh out loud with Seinfeld. Weeknights at 10:05 on Fox 18.
Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor, 1 win combined here in 2006, and that tells the tale for the Chicago Cubs. They're now facing a former Chicago Cub prospect, Mike Abui. Got a sparkling ERA and not a lot of work. And Michael Barrett, formerly of this Expos/Nationals organization, his first at bat today. And Barrett, who's been hot of late, jumps on the first one he sees. He's going to go for 2. Here comes the throw. Good one. They did not get him. Kearns to Lopez. The Cincinnati imports almost got it done. Michael Barrett avoided the tag. It is a leadoff double.
Well, with 3 runs down, you really don't want to see your base runner doing that. But he made an excellent slide. Now Kearns comes up throwing here. Makes a good, strong throw.
He just shot right past him.
Infielder just missed it. Plenty of time.
Now the ball was there, but the tag was not.
Yeah, Barrett should have just stayed on first. Just missed the tag. You're struggling, you try to overdo, but you certainly don't want to get thrown out at second base starting off an inning when you're 3 runs down.
Top of the order, Juan Pierre, and he's behind 0-2. We have seen 8 doubles in this game today, Lou. 3 for the Cubs and 5 for the Nats.
Seen a lot of guys hitting that ball into the corners.
Yeah. Juan Pierre, nothing for 3. Hernandez went 6 fairly strong innings today, Lou. I mean, the definition of a quality start, right, is 6 innings and 3 runs or fewer allowed. That's what he did. 6 innings, 3 runs.
Yeah, he pitched well. Really started to run out of gas there in the 6th, but he got through it.
Boy, just can't get together here with Signs with Pick.
You know, I don't think he's thrown a ball since he's been in there.
Now he has.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you get a little bit too comfortable to hit. Change the eye level of the hitter.
And a ground ball. Bowie freezing the runner and throwing out Pierre.
Get him off the plate a little bit.
Sure.
Make a pitch.
Navy Perez will come up next.
That's good balance. One hopper right back at him. Good play.
As you can tell, we've got bright sunshine now here in Washington, D.C. There's some pretty massive thunderstorms just north of us in southern Maryland, but in the District of Columbia, free and clear right now.
In his brief stint as a major league pitcher, Bowie's had more success against right-hand hitters and lefties.
Going to get Perez to pop one up here. Soriano moving under it. The converted infielder putting it away. Our game summary is brought to you by Flomax. You see what the starting pitchers have done, and the guy coming up right now, Aramis Ramirez, has had the big day. That's pretty big, I guess, to have Navy Perez pop out there, Lou, because, I mean, Ramirez would have been batting right now as a tying run.
Yeah, he's done most of the damage for the Cubs today, if not all of it.
2 long home runs and an infield single for that 3 for 3. You know, they say the longest home run in Washington, D.C. history, Lou, was that one that Mickey Mantle hit off Chuck Stobbs at Griffith Stadium. What's not known by many is in that game where the Mick had the 565-foot home run, he also had a bunt single. And not quite that same thing with Ramirez today, but part of the greatness that was Mickey Mantle is it wasn't just about the long ball. He could beat you a lot of different ways.
From the left side, beautiful to see him push that ball by the pitcher and get down to first in 3-3 or 4. I'll tell you this. I played here in this ballpark in 69, 70, and 71. I'll tell you, I saw a guy named Frank Howard hit a few long home runs here.
Launching those moon shots into the upper deck.
Now, he was an intimidating guy. 6'8".
We saw that one white seat out there that the person was kind enough to stand up and show it to us. And that's for one of those Frank Howard moonshots up there. In the air behind first base, Nick Johnson over the shoulder makes the catch on the run. It stays 6-3.
Here's to men, to guys who want to take longer drives with fewer pit stops. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like going often, going urgently, weak stream, frequently waking up at night to go. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Before my wipers streak or my belt starts to squeak, I know I'm gonna catch it on time.
AutoZone has the people, parts, and advice it takes to stop trouble before it starts.
Nobody knows your car like you do. Nobody knows what it needs like we do. AutoZone.
How about Zach? Oh, yeah. Very proud of him. Really? No, I thought he did well. I thought you both did great today. Thank you. I just thought... Hey, Zach, how you doing? Good. Hey, Zach. Oh.
Will you be hauling 7 tons of sheet metal? Or 70 pounds of plywood? 12,000 pounds of cattle? Or a little something for a do-it-yourself job? We can't be certain how you'll use your GMC Sierra heavy-duty pickup, so we engineered it with the most available horsepower and torque in its class. GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Flomax, by Holiday Inn, the official hotel of Major League Baseball, and by GMC, engineered to the highest standards, professional grade. We've been talking about the grand reopening weekend here at RFK. New food items, new food court, new landscaping. You are still Lou Piniella, right?
I had a great barbecue beef sandwich yesterday.
And you're
thoroughly enjoyed it.
No shortage of fine restaurants in this city. And now inside RFK Stadium. If you are so inclined, yeah, go for it. Washington out to a 6-3 lead today, having fallen behind 2-0 in the first inning. Felipe Lopez, Ryan Zimmerman, and Nick Johnson here in the bottom of the 7th as the Nats will try to pull further away from the Cubs. Both these teams expected to be active in dealing away some components in the next week or so. Lopez among those already brought in, that 8-player deal engineered by Jim Bowden. Wayne Krivsky, the general manager in Cincinnati, now doing a great job up there.
You know, when you talk about Felipe Lopez, you're talking about the National League's top power hitting shortstop the last 2 seasons. So you pick up a hitter at the shortstop position in Lopez, you pick up a hitter in Kearns, and all of a sudden your offense starts coming together.
Lopez has a bit of a Cubs connection in that the Blue Jays traded Alex Gonzalez to the Cubs to clear room for Lopez several years ago. And of course, Gonzalez became a big part of the Cubs team that went to the playoffs in 2003.
Yeah, the Blue Jays sort of lost some patience with Lopez.
In the air, center field. Juan Pierre's got it. For the Holiday Inn look again at play of the game. Lou, let's get you now to a little Aramis Ramirez. Holiday Inn, the official hotel of Major League Baseball.
Get up out of here. Come on. That'll, baby. Hung it. Woo! Upper deck. Atta boy. Yeah.
But Matthews knew that one was gone when he hit it.
Gary Matthews wearing the mic for us. Fox Sounds of the game. Yeah, big day for Ramirez. But the Nationals have the lead, and now Dusty Baker looking to make a pitching change. Double switch here. Novoa will come on to pitch. Todd Walker will now be playing second base. All of that will unfold for you when we come back after this on Fox.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going. Going during the movies and hating to stand up. Going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
Speeches for you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
Growing up, the Boys and Girls Club was a safe place where I was taught important lessons, like being part of a team. Teammates learn to play together, work together, and stick together. Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs of America understand the importance for kids to have a safe place to learn and grow. Teamwork is what made us World Series champions.
And the White Sox have won the World Series.
Major League Baseball is a proud sponsor of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Finding his socks on the floor. The Newlyweds.
Sometimes, believe it or not, the bat might have just a little bit of a crack in it. You don't know it. All of a sudden, you hit one right on the barrel, and the bat breaks.
He looked down like he couldn't believe it. I mean, normally when the bat breaks.
No, that ball was smoked. So Daniel caught that ball behind him.
Johnson's going to roll one into right field. He's on for the 3rd time today. Yeah, the ball off of Zimmerman's bat. Line shot, no doubt. But watch what he's left with here.
If he gets that ball in the air, it's out of the ballpark.
It's like the knob of the bat is what broke.
Well, I never had that problem, Josh. I just wasn't that strong.
You didn't go all Jim Rice or Albert Bell and you couldn't snap it over your knee like that?
No, I would have embarrassed myself.
You've never done that on a baseball field?
Well, I've had a little fun on the baseball field.
Yes, you have.
And I've probably done a few things on the baseball field that I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, but it was such good entertainment value, Lou. To throw in the base around.
Put some fannies in the ballpark, right?
Absolutely. The one where you went off on Joe Brinkman in Cleveland, that's one of my favorites of all time. And watching Joe trying not to laugh, but couldn't quite pull it off. You were rightfully upset on that one, though, from what I recall.
Well, I was right, but invariably I was wrong.
Well, because the umpires always have the last word, right?
Exactly.
Austin Kearns, like my partner, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds. Hard to believe, Lou, that it's 16 years now since that Reds World Series team.
They've had some good talent in Cincinnati. Just haven't quite gotten it done. They're in good position this year. They're leading the wild card race. I think they're second in the Central to the Cardinals.
A lot of head-to-head still left with the St. Louis team as well.
Well, if Junior can stay healthy over there and have a really productive second half for him, it'll really help. See him here one game ahead of San Francisco in the wild card.
Runner goes, and a good jump. Barrett's going to throw. Didn't get him. I guess it's deceptive because he's a big first baseman, Lou, but Nick Johnson can run a little bit. That's 9 steals for him.
Well, evidently, the Cubs had an idea that he might be running with 2 outs. They threw over to first 2 or 3 different times.
Look out inside. Ball 4 to Kearns.
Boy, these young pitchers at times get 2 quick outs in an inning. All of a sudden they relax and think they're out of it, and they get themselves in trouble. And here comes the pitching coach to remind them just that.
Darrell Ward has stepped out in the on-deck circle. And sure enough, Larry Rothschild on his way out there, have a little chat.
Well, Larry was my pitching coach in Cincinnati. I thought he did a wonderful job with my staff.
You guys have both been managers of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
Yeah, he went over and coached for Leland with the Marlins. They won a world championship.
Then he was coaching the Cubs against the Marlins in one of the best NLCSs in history, 2003. I like that he never really takes credit for any of his pitchers' successes. You know, Louis prefers to say it's about their talent.
No, he's a modest guy, and at the same time, he's a really good pitching coach.
Ball getting away, and, well, they're going to appeal down there to see exactly what happened. Darrell Ward, was he hit by it?
Yeah, it hit him in the foot.
Yeah, and now they're telling him, go ahead, go to first base. Marlon Anderson will come up with the bases loaded. That's right after the pitching coach went out there, too.
Hit him right on the back foot. Breaking ball. Darrell Ward tries to get out of the way of, but
Ryan Church, just up from AAA today, is going to go pinch run now for Ward. A pinch hit batsman.
Boy, it's got to be frustrating for the pitching coach to come out, try to settle your young pitcher down, tell him to relax, get ahead of the hitter before you sit down. He's hit a hitter in the back of the back leg with a breaking ball.
Darrell Ward's day will consist of one pitch. He got hit in the foot, and then he's asked to go sit the rest of it out. Ryan Church now at first, and Marlon Anderson at the plate. Remember, last time was asked to bunt. Now he's being asked to swing, put one in the alley somewhere, break this game open.
Yeah, ball in the gap here, and you do break this game open.
A lot of these rallies today for both teams, Lou, have started very innocently with 2 outs and nobody on.
And the Nationals especially have had good 2-out hitting.
Seven of the 9 runs in this game total have scored with 2 out.
That was the case last night also.
Fouled right back this way. So Novoa's ahead of Anderson. Roberts Fick is on deck. Sean Marshall started for Chicago today, left with a strained rib cage muscle, the oblique. Williamson, Oman, and Novoa. And Novoa missing here. 2-2, bases loaded, 2 out.
It's a young pitcher here. You don't want to overthrow. You want to gather yourself and make a good pitch and get out of the inning.
The Cubs have 4, 5, 6 in their order, set to come up in the 8th inning. Just trying to stay close enough where they can do some damage.
Well, the National bullpen has been porous at times, and they traded a couple of their relievers away to Cincinnati. So if the Cubs can stay in the game, they've still got a chance.
Anderson, though, lift off center field. At the track, Pierre has got it and keeps the Cubs in the game. If it's over his head, it's 9-3. He catches it, and instead it stays 6-3.
Introducing the new 2007 Yukon Denali, the definition of great engineering.
Subway Dinner Theatre presents The Unfed. I smell a blockbuster, and for dinner, Subway restaurants!
And the delicious new bourbon chicken sandwich, tender chicken and a zest.
3 players from the University of South Alabama teaming up here. Juan Pierre catching a blast off the bat of Marlon Anderson. And in the nation's capital, Lou, USA, the South Alabama Jaguars, one robbed by the other.
Really nice play by Pierre. He kept his eye on the ball. He knew exactly where the warning track and the fence were. He kept the Cubs right in the ball game.
Pagan pinch hitting here against Bowie.
And the young pitcher. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that keeps the Cubs in it. They're down to 6 outs left, but trailing by 3 instead of by 6 thanks to Juan Pierre. Ryan Church stays in the game, plays center field. You've got Jacques Jones on deck and then Phil Nevin. A couple guys get on here. Nevin's certainly a candidate to tie the game with one swing.
You got Derek Lee sitting on the on the bench.
Mm-hmm. That ball's in the air to left. Soriano going back. Got it. Didn't quite get all of it. On a day that Aramis Ramirez has hit a pair of home runs. Kearns has hit one. Escobar has hit one for Washington. You don't hear a lot these days, Lou, about how unfair it is to the hitters at RFK. There's some balls starting to get out now.
Well, I talked to Frank Robbins specifically about that. He said that once the weather really started to get warm and stayed hot, the ball started to fly. But it's a fair ballpark. Keep that ball to the middle part of the ballpark and stuff a good center fielder, go chase him, and you've got a good thing going.
Jones turns on one and fouls it into the crowd of 38,000 here today. The Nationals already have hit about as many home runs this year at home as they did all of last year.
Well, Soriano's got a lot to do with that.
That is true. He's got 3 extra base hits today, 2 doubles and a triple is Soriano. Two and 2. And Jones will hobble around a little bit. Former Minnesota Twin. The Twins are one of the teams rumored to be interested in Alfonso Soriano. That's the list that seems to change with the weather. But I would say a couple teams out of that AL Central definitely have strong enough interest now that it's starting to get serious from all accounts. I'm talking about the Tigers and the White Sox.
Yeah, you look at a team like Detroit that's played so well. You bring in a Soriano or somebody like that. Does it change the chemistry on your baseball team?
It's a good question, and but Soriano seems like the kind of guy, and you know him a little bit. I don't think he's going to go into a new clubhouse, say July 31st, and start demanding things and upsetting the apple cart, so to speak. Obviously, in the spring training this year, kind of a different thing in that he was told he was playing left field. He didn't want to play left field.
Well, free agent year, you're asked a player that's an all-star at a position to switch, and it's a little disconcerting for the young man, but it's proved to be a good move.
Jones, a fair ball, and he can't really run it out that well because he had just fouled the ball off his foot. So now 2 out, and a reminder about what you'll see on Fox next week. A lot of you will see the Angels and the Red Sox. You might see the Mets and the Braves. Cardinals and Cubs, Nationals and Dodgers. Those are all possibilities. Please check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Now the righty Phil Nevin is set to come up, and Frank Robinson's going to go to the mound. He wants to summon a right-hand pitcher to deal with the right-hand hitter. 6-3 Nationals over the Cubs. Back in just a moment.
When the unthinkable happens, the FBI uses their best weapon first.
We're up.
2 of America's top crisis negotiators.
You think you're the first guy who ever messed up?
We can negotiate a surrender.
The only thing more explosive than what's ahead of them
Like everybody, I got problems. I got secrets that could hurt me.
is what's between them.
I'm sleeping with my partner, for one.
Tuesdays, Fox Fall.
Am I going to have a problem with you two? No. Who's primary? I am.
Everything is negotiable.
I think maybe we shouldn't work together because the stakes are too high. There's just too many variables to take into account, and I think... Let's get it right.
Okay.
Standoff, a new series after House, coming Tuesdays, Fox Fall.
Mrs. Collins, you have a call on our house phone.
I'll be right back.
Sarah Collins, wife of Senator Jeffrey Collins, vanished.
Deep within the corridors of power.
This is the Bureau's only case.
Hides a centuries-old secret.
It's a prayer card.
That threatens the course of history.
She's gone missing before.
12 years ago.
From the network that brought you 24 and Prison Break.
Does she have any enemies? You have any enemies?
Comes the next groundbreaking thriller.
She was the wife of the mayor of Atlanta 10 years ago. She was frozen post-mortem.
He was killed and then inked.
What the hell's going on?
Vanished. Premieres Monday, August 21st on Fox.
Personal grooming. The Newlyweds.
Where are you going?
To clip my toenails. I don't like doing that stuff in front of you.
The Not So Newlyweds.
You are not going to believe this.
Good Lord, that came from one toe?
Emmy winner Brad Garrett stars in Till Death, a new comedy coming Thursdays, Fox Fall.
John Roush, all 6'11", 262 pounds of him, coming on to face Phil Nevin. 2 down, top 8. Nationals up by 3, and Nevin takes a look at strike 1. John Roush, the 11th player to enter this game, Lou, since the 5th inning. And a lot of turnover.
A lot of double switches. A lot of pitching changes.
A lot
Pitch
of
hitters.
Yeah. A lot of humidity, too. And the crowd starting to thin out a little bit.
Great crowd here, though. 38,000 today.
That is a lot of pitcher right there, huh? 6'11". You had the pleasure of managing Randy Johnson. He was close.
6'11" also, yes. A lot of body parts coming at you.
Didn't get the call right there from Tim Cheetah. Roush, another Kentuckian coming to the mix here for the Nationals. We talked about Austin Kearns being from Lexington. Roush from Louisville. That's how the natives say it, I believe. Louisville, L-O-U-V-L.
Okay, he pitched an inning here last night.
Roush, a former Chicago White Sox. Remember, Lewin Hernandez was a starter today for the Washington team. He went 6. He's online for the win. Boy, and I just looking at you, Lou, I think you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking here. This game, one thing it has taught us is there's not a lot of pitchers, at least in this particular game, that are finishing guys off. You get to 0-2 and suddenly it's 2-2.
They get 2 quick strikes on you and they don't put you away, and before you know it, you get into these long counts
and long innings. And yep, Nevin deposits it in the left field. There have been 7.5 innings in this game, Lou, where it was 2 out and nobody on. Yet the third guy coming up that inning did get on.
Well, outside of Lewin Hernandez, the rest of these pitchers that have pitched in this game today are all young.
Is that something that can be taught, how to finish a guy off, or do you have to have the stuff to do it?
Well, it can be taught. Experience is a great teacher in itself. You do need some stuff, but you don't really have to strike a hitter out to get him out. Make a good pitch and get him. Nice sinker. Nice breaking ball.
Let your defense do the work for you, right?
A little changeup. Exactly.
Our stat maven Ethan Cooperson tells us there have been 12 hitters today that have reached base with 2 strikes on them.
Yeah. And the more you can make these hitters put the ball in play, the better your defenders will play for you.
Very democratic, keeps everybody involved, right?
You look at a baseball game, and let's say the game's 3 hours.
Or in our case, 3.5.
But a 3-hour ball game, just
right.
For the heck of it. And one team is on the field an hour and 40 minutes or hour and 45 minutes, and the other team is on the field for an hour and 15 minutes. Who's going to win that baseball game?
Right. No, you got fresher legs, and you can do things with that when you're batting, I would think, too. New supply of baseballs needed.
We've gone through a lot of them today. So the secret is to keep your team in that dugout for the longer period of time. You're going to win the vast majority of your games.
That'll work. That's the finisher. Roush is out of the inning, and it stays 6-3.
You know you make me wanna take my heels off.
Officers? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy, so you can have more fun. So make your body happy. Drink more water, like new Aquafina Sparkling, bursting with natural flavors. For a tongue-tingling taste and 0 calories, try Aquafina Sparkling.
What would it take to keep your personal financial information safe? A ferocious guard dog? A great white shark? A man-eating tiger? Any of them will do, thanks to Bank of America's Site Key. Just choose a picture and title. We'll show them to you when you sign on, so you know you're securely on our site, not some look-alike. So if you'll feel safer, protected by a fearsome grizzly bear, we've got you covered. Open a checking account and experience higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
Better health. Sometimes it's in the genes, but as often as not, it's connected to the quality of the information you have at hand. And that's what makes WebMD America's most trusted health information source. It's a place where people find information they could never get their hands on before, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can make the connection between better information and better health. WebMD.
Baby Ruth is a great tasting candy bar. And when you have peanuts, nougat, and caramel, you don't need bells and whistles. All right, here's one whistle. but no bells. Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
Big Papi and the Red Sox battle the Angels. Fox Saturday Baseball next week.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Aquafina. Make your body happy. Drink more water. By Bank of America. Experience higher standards in checking only from Bank of America. By WebMD. Better information, better health. And by Baby Ruth from Nestle. Savor the official candy bar of Major League Baseball. Nationals by 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Merton will come in the game to play left. Juan Pierre stays in center. They've got Pagan now in right. And Phil Nevin has moved around and in to play first base. Got a bright sunshine going now, too.
It's a day game. Shortstop doesn't need to come in and get glasses. You carry them with you.
Yeah, Cedeno was, I guess, surprised to see there was some sunshine. And another little delay here today as the shortstop had to go in. At the end of that last half inning, it looked like home plate umpire Tim Cheetah, Lou, wanted to talk to the bat boys down there about making sure there was a fresh supply of baseballs ready to go.
Sometimes they run out of those rough ones.
Roberts' pick is going to arc one down the left field side. Cedeno with the glasses can't make the catch.
That was a long run for Cedeno. Big foul territory. Nice try.
Robert Fick, an 0 for 3 afternoon. But the Nationals have 11 hits total today. Escobar, a big home run. Kearns hit a home run back in the second. For the Cubs today, it's been Aramis Ramirez. He's hit 2 more after hitting 2 yesterday. Now Fick to center field for Juan Pierre. He was fighting the glare of that sun himself. Yeah, that last half inning, Lou, when John Roush came off the mound, looked like he said something to Tim Cheetah about having to wait for the new baseballs to be delivered.
Tim, looking at him, says, look, just go out and pitch, he says. I've been out here for 4 hours and 20 minutes. I'm tired.
Pitcher to umpire, umpire to bat boy. Life's a big circle. This is Melvin Dorta. First big league at bat. It didn't last very long. He was just up. And he lined one. I mean, he hit that hard.
He's going to remember his first major league at bat.
Native Venezuelan from the same hometown as Alex Escobar, matter of fact. He was at AA Harrisburg. I know you remember your first at bat. I've heard this story from you, and I love it.
That was pinch hitting for Robin Roberts. When Robin pitched for the Baltimore Orioles, I grounded out the shortstop, and when I came back and sat down, Robin says, young man, I could have done that myself.
And then it took you a while for your next big league at bat, right?
Yeah, it took me about 3 years. I got a lot of at bats in the Eastern League and AA and Pacific Coast League in Portland.
At any time do you start thinking, man, I hope I get another one?
I was getting very close to that type of thinking.
Soriano to right field. He's already got 3 extra base hits today, and now he's bidding for 4, and he's got it. That is a 3-double day for Soriano. And you can tack on a triple to that, too. That's quite an afternoon.
Well, he's heating up right at this trading deadline. Good piece of hit. Doesn't try to pull this pitch. Keeps his head right on it. He drills it to right field. Soriano can hit, period.
Oh, he's getting close to a buck. I mean, this is not out of the realm. He's hitting about 290 right now. How about a 300 batting average this year and the 40-40 season?
Well within his grasp.
Again, will it be as a Washington National, though? Or will he go somewhere else? That is up to Jim Bowden. 2-0 the count now to Lopez, one of the guys brought in by the GM, Mr. Bowden.
Well, I'm sure that the price continues to go up.
Boy, 4 extra base hits for Soriano today. Chad Cordero is ready in the bullpen to close it, Lou, but if Lopez comes out with the two-out hit right here, Soriano scores, it's no longer a save situation. There's the base hit. Soriano, who's been thrown out at home plate twice today. That will not happen to him here. 7-3 Washington. Lopez and Soriano trading places, and the Nationals are doubling up a storm today.
Again, good 2-out hitting by Felipe Lopez.
7 doubles today for Washington.
I've never seen so many balls thrown by these pitchers down and in. Easy place for a hitter to get to it. You talk about the 4 zones you want to pitch in. The down and in zone is not one of them. Unless you've really got just a dominant sinker that eats you up.
Zimmerman, one of the doubles today.
And that pitch there is an extra base pitch.
Mm-hmm. Down and in. Now Rivera starting to get ready, along with Cordero. Always an interesting thing to have to decide if you're the manager. You've got your closer ready. You probably need some work, but it's not a save situation, so do you save him for tomorrow?
Well, Cordero pitched 1 inning last night, saved the ball game. 3 quick outs. You know, depending on how much he's pitched, depending on whether you have a day off coming up in the immediate future, you're trying to win baseball games. You're not overly concerned about save or save situations.
Right.
But looking at the other side of it, sometimes these guys lose a little bit of an adrenaline when they're not in save situations.
Chopper foul by Zimmerman. Well, it's nice to be in that position, though, right? Considering the Cubs scored 2 in the first inning. And maybe a big play. They had the man thrown out to end the inning. Well, it stayed at 2-0, didn't get to 3-0, and who knows if it would have kept going from there.
Yeah, that double play that Zimmerman bounced into the Marshall second to home was a big one.
Zimmerman hitting this one to right.
Yeah, it kept the Cubs in the game for a while.
Right now, though, 7-3 Nats on Fox.
If you're looking to ramp up your ride, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has a brand new special order center just for you. Your one-of-a-kind one-stop shop for everything you could ever want in parts and performance accessories. Everything from lift kits to cool custom accessories is ready for direct-to-your-door delivery or convenient in-store pickup. When you want the most complete selection of parts and accessories, the only place to go is the new special order center in Advance Auto Parts.
We're ready in advance.
Another day, another billion in big business loans.
Sir, there's something on your shoe.
Good morning. If I could just have a minute of your time.
Small
We'll see that my
business
business
owner.
insurance are all profit. We're playing it to double or
Give me a pencil.
space my legs for the last 2 days.
What's he want? A loan or something?
Hey, oh! Look, he's got a business plan.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
Hello, Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Get this out of here. This is the Stackers Union, kid. We stack meat and cheese. Meat and cheese.
Ooh, early bun delivery.
Hey, Toots.
New BK Stacker, meat and cheese, stacked high, tough guy.
Do you really need a titanium driver? That magnesium frame spinning reel? A 60-inch screen? Do you really need a motor oil that protects for 15,000 miles?
Darn right.
You deserve the best of the best. Mobil 1 Extended Performance. Advanced technology, proven anti-wear protection, guaranteed for 15,000 miles.
Mobil 1 Extended Performance.
The oil that's changing oil.
Let me guess, more Albert Pujols stuff?
He's the best.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
What am I, chopped liver? I hit 714 home runs.
Come on, the Wizard of Oz stole 580 bases.
In my day, we didn't have bases. We had rocks.
What?
Hey, I played in 2,632 straight games.
Well, I ate 2,632 hot dogs. Can I get an amen from the bobbleheads?
DHL and MLB give you the chance to vote for your team's greatest. It's Hometown Heroes. Go to MLB.com now.
At RFK Stadium, the Washington Nationals trying to put the finishing touches on a 7-3 win. The closer is on. Not a save situation, obviously, Lou, with a bulge of 4 runs right now. But Chad Cordero with that 3.6 ERA, 15 saves this year, and a lot more than that last year.
I like this move by Frank Robinson. He had him warmed up, ready to come in the ball game. Use him. You bring in Rivera, and he gets in trouble. Who's going to be in the ball game immediately? Your closer. You might as well let him start the inning.
Cut out the middleman.
Exactly.
Todd Walker's first AB. He's going to send the very first pitch he sees straight up into the air. Ryan Church gathers it up. Chad Cordero, he of the straight-brimmed hat. You used to like that look yourself, I believe.
Not as straight as his. I noticed that the other day and sort of laughed about it. Reminds me a little bit of Cantu that I had over at second base at Tampa Bay. But
yeah, that's right. He's got that going too.
Yeah, mine wasn't quite that straight.
No. Most of the guys today, they give him at least a little bit of a curl. You could jump off of Cordero's brim right there as a strike.
Yeah, actually, the more of a curl you have, the nicer they look on your head.
These fashion tips from Lou Piniella, ladies and gentlemen, free of charge. Next thing you know, you're going to be going up there telling Mr. Hanks how to dress. Don't do that. Barrett.
Well, he came in.
Left. Tom Hanks is still here, by the way. Stay until the end. Our Chevy player of the game. Escobar off the bench, limping around Kurt Gibson style. Chevrolet making a $1,000 contribution to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Chevy, an American revolution.
Well, Hanks wasn't exactly a fashion statement with the T-shirt and the shorts today.
I think it's a great look. I'm just sucking up, really.
You just like Tom Hanks.
I do. I've seen every movie.
So do I.
Hard hit under the glove of Nick Johnson. The game continues. It allows me to apologize kind of in person here to Mr. Hanks for making fun of Joe versus the Volcano before I knew the volume knob was up in that booth. Derek Lee gets a chance to swing the bat now. And the Cub fans that are here, there are many of them. Of course, they travel so well, these Cub fans. They're everywhere. And they love their Derek Lee.
They remind me a lot of the Red Sox fans. They show up all over the country to see their team play.
.335 batting average last year. This year, obviously, he's been hurt. The batting average idling in the 270s. Lee's going to crush one. Center field. Church is back, and he's got it. And the Washington Nationals are your winner today. A lot of these players on both these teams might be somewhere else in about a week. But for today, it was the Nats 7, the Cubs 3 for Lou Piniella and Tom Hanks. I'm Josh Lewin saying goodbye from our nation's capital. We get you to Jeannie Zalasko and Kevin Kennedy standing by for the latest in Major League Baseball action.
Gentlemen, thank you. The Chevy postgame show on Fox. Chevy, America's #1 fan. As we welcome you inside the Fox Network Center at St. Chicago has seen enough of Alfonso Soriano. But if you believe what Mr. Ken Rosenthal said earlier today, he may end up in Chicago, just the other side of town.
A huge day for Soriano on national TV. 4 for 5 today. He had some base running mistakes. I mean, he'll run through stop signs, but boy, he can flat out hit. There's no secret about that.
He can hit, and he's got speed.
287, had 3 doubles today. He had 1 big triple, and, you know, hitting 287 with all that power, somebody's going to want him. Somebody's going to take him.
All right, and we know that the farm system needs a little help, so it's who can work out the best deal.
Yeah, they're so far out of it right now. I can't see Jim Bowden not trading Soriano. Houston having troubles right now with the bats again. They're last in the National League in hitting, Jeannie.
Yeah, and the sad part there is they were actually out in front and gave it up on a home run. All right, game that you just witnessed, a 7-3 Nationals over the Cubs. More Soriano. Again, 3 for 4. You said 3 extra base hits today. And really the intangibles, just the speed and the threat out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a threat. He's got the power. He's playing left field now. I mean, he's been successful doing that. And I don't know if he's going to the American League Central or not, but like I said, I think somebody has to make a move for him. Braves in a rain delay with the Phillies. Braves trying to make a comeback.
What about Detroit? Could end up in Detroit.
Yeah, you think?
They've been very public that they want the bat, but I don't know that they want to give up one of their arms.
I'm asking for Zumaya or somebody like that, and that's not going to happen with the Tigers. I just can't see it.
Mike Wall with a home run to get the Red Sox on the board there in Seattle. Alex Rodriguez, designated hitter today.
Bernie Williams, he's not an old man. He can still hit.
He was designated to hit. He hit one out. 2-run home run. All right, next week, Fox Saturday Baseball continues. The Braves look to make up ground in the NL East when they face the Mets, where the Angels take on the Red Sox. Plus, the Dodgers look to get back on the top of the West as they host the Nationals, or the Cardinals battle the Cubs. It all starts next week, 1 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, right here on Fox as we look to the Cubs to next week. Greg Maddux still in a Cubs uniform?
I don't think I think Greg Maddux will be moved. I have a feeling, just a gut. I don't know.
You can feel it in your belly.
And we'll get we'll get Soriano traded somehow, won't we?
For Kevin on Jeannie, see you next Saturday.
Promotional consideration paid for by
Has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the National Football League, NASCAR, and the new home of the BCS, America's #1 sports network, Fox Sports.